go! Let's go! Let's do it! It's Mr. Young!
And it's for the fourth time in this building, bro.
What fourth time, bro? Kayfabe, bro. This is the very first time there have been no technical difficulties whatsoever. Chat, hello. It's good to see everybody.
Bro, this is the true dark side of the ring, bro. When shit comes up.
Let me say hello to Faiz, to Seriously Sarah, to John Mouse. Is that right? Najwan, hello. Referee Ryan.
Hello.
So many people here. Faz, like peas. It's so good to see everybody. I mean, man.
God, it's a party, bro.
Yeah, I know. I gotta say, you missed out lah this past weekend.
Oh yeah, man. Heartbreaks, bro. When I saw the venue when you were posting it, I was like, damn, it looks so beautiful, man. It looks so great.
It does. It does. So, okay, we will get to all of what we need to talk to. But as always, if you haven't already followed us on the Discord, please do so. It's down there in the description. Come join the community, chat wrestling, WWE, AEW, even the Japanese wrestling that I don't watch. Got other people watch. Y'all talk about that stuff together. Find your soulmate there, maybe. Who knows? Who knows, bro? You never know.
Yeah, man. Hey, the Discord is popping every single day. Shout out to people like Urfi who always like share stuff. I think a couple of you guys as well, Irvin. All of you guys is like keeping the wrestling news cycle going. Like, I don't even need to look at my email or notifications. Every day I wake up, open my Discord, all the latest wrestling news is there. So thanks, guys.
Exactly. I want to shout out to our patrons as well. The Shadow, Rishi, Differalty, Irvin, Doc, and Saleh as well. Thank you so much for the support. As always, whatever you can afford is good for us. So look deep into your heart, but more specifically into your wallet and see whatever you can afford, only what you can afford. We say thank you, much thanks for the patron support, right? Links in the description as well. Okay, we got to get down to business. Najwan says you had to take care of your bird. That is true. Because you were
Oh, yeah,
park,
that's true, bro. The bird has to be taken care of. A happy wife, happy life, as Mr. Young knows, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Question. This new bird paradise, whatever, good or meh? Like, I haven't been to the new place.
All right, okay. My suggestion, bro, don't go on the weekend. Don't go on school holidays. Go take leave. Go during the weekday when it's nice and quiet, bro.
You don't like it when too many people see your birds, is it?
Bro, too many kids with the cuckoo birds, man. All around flying everywhere, man. I cannot, man.
I don't... Wait. He took it there. I just say bird only. He didn't got kids or...
Okay.
What's up? You missed the most sus thing. Foreign just said the most sus thing.
Yeah. I get all the sus out of it. To be fair, it's beautiful, bro. It's amazing. It's like Jurassic Park, bro. Like the birds are roaming everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
but there's a huge ass net at the top of it, lah. So they really can't escape, lah. They can roam high only.
Yeah, I was just about to say, how many times did people get shat on?
Oh, I have no idea about that, bro. All I know is, right, they really have commercialized Birds Paradise so much. Like, the Bird Paradise, the cafe, like this, like hipster cafe. There's this. It's called Birds of Paradise. Have you heard of it before?
Oh, it's an ice cream joint.
Yeah, it's an ice cream joint, right? I think they collab, bro, with the Birds Paradise because, like, literally outside the place, it's like a whole row of like hipster cafes, and there's the Birds of Paradise right at the entrance.
Bird Paradise and Birds of Paradise. It's like, okay, hey, our names like kind of the same. Okay, let's go, let's collab.
Yeah, man. I think all the people in the west side who live near Mandai might just go there just to lepak, just to hang out and have cafe dates, bro.
West side, bro. West side. I don't know. I never west side one. Central side, whatever that
means.
Bro,
don't play gang signs here, bro. Don't scare everyone off, man. Please.
Okay. Hey, Greg N-Boss is in the house. It's good to see you. Good catching up. Even though, we didn't catch up that much. We should catch up soon, bro. But, okay, let's get down to business, shall we? Let's talk about what we want to talk about here today, because this is going to be a crazy weekend as far as pro wrestling is concerned. We got WWE. I wanted to say Crown Jewel. No, it's Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. Not King of the Ring.
No, aka Saudi Mania lah, basically. We got AEW Double or Nothing, and there's an SPW event on Friday evening as well, Merciless. And we will be chatting with Andrew Tang, the Statement, on a special episode that we are putting out tomorrow right here on the YouTube channel. So it's like we coined it a double trouble week of Kick to the Gut.
Oh, yeah, man. And the best part is he actually called us in live from Japan. So he shared with us a bit of living as a gaijin there, training, going on tour with the like of the Jerry. So I think it's a pretty cool experience as well. So can't wait to hear about that for the rest of the fans listening in.
And I have to say, man, local wrestling right now, we said this to death, I feel like, but sometimes when the wrestling that we like to watch, the WWE, the North American stuff, when it hits that lull, right, at least we have local, and in a lot of ways, I enjoyed myself so much more this past weekend than I have been for the past couple of weeks watching Raw, SmackDown, or Dynamite.
Yeah, it goes back to like how you have like those big international bands, but sometimes it's just nice to go down and see what's up coming up in the local scene.
Yes.
And of course, I'm using a music analogy, but I think it works well for all kinds of art forms, including wrestling as well.
Oh, absolutely. Irvin, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Okay, so we are going to talk about GrappleMAX's event, Settle Outside. Ironically, they were performing inside in Performance Studios. Like, have you heard of this place before, by the way?
No, bros. Okay, I'm very curious because, of course, clearly in my line of work, I should know that there is a performance studio somewhere there. So is it like in Gilmart Road? Is it like in those... Or is it like a standalone building? Where is that?
So, okay, it's like part of like an industrial area, right? I believe you guys can please correct me if I'm wrong, but they obviously, it's like a studio where they film things, right? And so there's this giant LED board at the back where they used to display the match card, the kind of stuff. And I mean, you saw the photos, there's the ring in front of it as well. And that is how it was shot, full on spotlights and stuff like that. It was very cool. The setup, the second I stepped in, because obviously I had no idea what to expect, right? The second I opened the door, I'm like, hey, Siala, what am I? TV studio, studio taping? What's going on, Sia?
Yeah, okay, so it's like a sound stage, is it?
It is a sound stage with a big old LED board. Like, you know how Disney, how they film a lot of the new Star Wars shows and everything, they have this giant dome full of LED or LCD screens, and that's how they make like the Mandalorian's backdrop, for example.
Amazing.
It had that vibe. Of course, not as like extensive as that, but you get my point, right?
Got it. So, I mean, of course, across the causeway, we have Apex Wrestling, like, leveling up on their production.
Yeah.
So, I am so happy that GrappleMAX have leveled up their production value. So, if this is going to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you have the inside info on this, is this going to be where they're going to have their shows going forward once every few months?
This is like, I think this is the first time they're trying this. Obviously, they are probably looking to do more, but you know, it's not going to be the same like every single, like the house shows will still be at their home base, right? So this you can think of as like a Saudi Mania, like a WrestleMania, like one of the biggest shows, you know?
Yeah, and you know what the best part? I think they sprang it right on us. Like they they kind of announced it's a different venue, but they never show or preview what it was like. So I think people who went there didn't know anything or wasn't expecting anything. They must have been super surprised. What was the reactions on the ground from the people that you were talking to?
Funnily enough, right, I had a friend that I know, actually, you know, I actually recommended GrappleMAX to him, right? And this was his very first show.
Wow.
And he was blown, like he was telling me like, dude, I didn't expect this level of professional, like, you know, like, I mean, obviously it's not Raw, SmackDown, AEW, but you know, in Singapore we have this level, like, wow, he was blown away, proper blown away.
Amazing. And I think, can you imagine that is their first impression of what professional wrestling could be in Singapore? I think there's a return fan over there. There's a converted fan over there.
Absolutely. Now, I unfortunately came a little bit late because Mr. Young has bad time management. But when I stepped in, immediately it was like, you know, it's kind of a little bit foggy. Not really, but, you know, because the lights are shining down, the spotlights and everything. And I came in right as Christian and Jordan were going at it. So they started off hot with the Cruiserweight title match. And I was, okay, to me, right, like, you know how I am. Yes, I appreciate good pro wrestling, technical ability, high flying. I appreciate all that kind of stuff. But really, when you talk about character work, that usually gets my attention. I mean, we talked about it so much, right? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, there will always be somebody out there who can do something probably better than you or equal to you, right? But what makes you stand out? Character, correct? And I was so happy to see our friend who we talked to last week, Jordan, you know, sort of be this, I don't want to say evil Oppa turn bad, because that's the term we coined, right? And that's what he wants to get away from. But I'm like, bro, I'm scared of him, bro. He mean, bro.
Bro, there's a storyline waiting for you right there, bro. And Oppa turned bad because of the pressures of being a perfect guy. Like, that's like such a great storyline, man. I mean, he could run with it, but again, if he wants to go down this evil route, he has that bit of danger in him. I definitely could see that in last week's episode for sure.
Yeah, but like he said in last week's episode, it's not about him being evil, right? It's just about him believing in what he believes in, and he's just pissed off that he doesn't believe that Christian is quote unquote a worthy champion, lah. So and it shows in the facials, in the way he carries himself, and we will get back to him in just a little while because this is not the first time we see him, it was a hard-hitting match. Like I said, Jordan was full on healing it up, loved it. There was a point. Okay, the finish. Let's get to the finish, right? This gives Jordan a way out, by the way, because he did take the loss, but his feet were on the ropes and referee didn't see it.
Classic. Okay, cool. So you're saying what? Christian barely got the win, so it was very evenly matched.
Yes. I mean, okay, I think a lot of this match was highlighting Jordan and his sort of new demeanor, which I appreciated. And here's the thing, right? Like, I also noticed one thing about, and this is GrappleMAX as a whole, especially for this show, right? There was more of the storytelling as opposed to, like, how GrappleMAX back in the dojo, it was a lot about like the Japanese style, like, all right, like, put on a fighting spirit match, not really too much on the storylines per se. But now you can see a product that's a lot more like, hey, yeah, it's storyline based, something you can follow week after week or month after month, that kind of vibe,
Yeah, so I'm just curious for the people, the GrappleMAX guys that's on the chat right now. Like, has there been a change of philosophy recently? Because previously it was about like branding yourself as like a school where it's more about giving everyday Singaporeans a chance to kind of like live out their like wrestling lifestyle and make it a fitness lifestyle, and lesser about storyline that you mentioned. But then recently we have seen them leaning into that. So are they going to try to kind of separate it? For shows, it's all about storylines, and then also brand themselves as a lifestyle wrestling school.
Well, also, if you take a look at like the stuff that they put out on social media, on Instagram, there is obviously an effort to do more produced videos, right? And a lot of the produced videos were really, really good. Highlighting, people's strengths, that kind of stuff, depending on what their character is. And there are really some very standout characters. And at the end of the day, that's what you take away with you, right? Like, yes, of course, everyone has to have the basic wrestling skills, be good in the ring, that kind of stuff, But ultimately, I walked away from GrappleMAX Settle Outside with like, oh, shoot, like, I have very high hopes for the future because a lot of these young guys, I'm seeing their personalities now, and it's like, oh shit, now I know who they are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Quick question, Mr. Yang. Did you find out or not who actually gave the name Settle Outside? Who actually came up with the name?
No, I did not. I did not ask, actually. Actually, all the GrappleMAX folk are saying, trust the process. Hey, I saw what you guys did at Settle Outside. I trust the process also, bro.
You're a firm believer. Okay, I like what we're doing today because like clearly I wasn't there, so it's about you kind of like showing me what was good about it. So I think for those people who on the chat who didn't manage to catch Settle Outside, they can kind of get a taste of what to expect. So I think we should just share both your perspective and as well as what you think a non-viewer of GrappleMAX can expect from that as well.
Right. Let's move on to the next match then. And so, okay, we hear Inglorious's music, right? And once again, the whole presentation is just fantastic because they got the whole, like, the graphics, the words come up and the names come up. It looks cool, right? And then you had Inglorious, like I mentioned. And Greg gets on the mic. He tries to fire up his guys, right? Remus and Hotshot, because they have a match later on. And then comes the line, get your shit together.
What's that about?
Ooh. Okay, so I mean, maybe a little bit dissension, maybe leader not feeling his two guys because they've lost the past few matches, right? Like, I mean, Remus didn't manage to win the openweight title, all that kind of stuff,
Okay. So, like, are we seeing a tease or hint of dissension between the factions?
I mean, it was definitely a hint because they were friends after that lah. It was more of like, hey, what are you guys doing? Get your shit together, that kind of stuff. And that led to, though, interestingly enough, an End Boss Open challenge because Hotshot and Remus threw it back at him. Say, you don't even have a match. Why don't you have a match? Let's see you in a match. Bam, open challenge. And
on the spot.
And this is where I'm like, I see what you're doing, fam. You are hiding a grade 1 graduation match as an open challenge. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. But okay, Ryan, At first I thought it was, referee Ryan is debuting, what? No, but it's another guy called Ryan, which now I want to know more about, right? Because I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen this guy before. He wasn't advertised on the card. So this Ryan guy, obviously he's a young boy, he's a trainee. So I think on his Titantron, it's a Titantron, on his video it says grade 1 or something like that. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is a graduation match hidden as an open challenge. So they worked it into a storyline, which is very different from what they've done previously, am I right?
Yeah, as Sir Who says, let them cook, man. That is very, very clever. I gotta give props to you guys for doing that, if that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so okay, it was a 5-minute match, as in, this is your classic heels. Like, he's so cocky, I don't even need more than 5 minutes, I can beat you in 5 minutes, you know what I mean? So It was that kind of match. And, I mean, it's Greg. He put him through his paces, sort of. Obviously, Greg's leading the match, right? But I mean, Ryan, you can see, and once again, for me, it's not about the technicalities, it's the facial expression. It's does he look hurt when he's in a hole? Can he pull off the pain face, that kind of stuff? And I was like, okay, good for you, man. Like, if that's a grade 1 match, I'm super excited for the future of GrappleMAX. Time limit draw. The student managed this to survive. So, I mean, we've seen that story before, but it's still a fun story to play out,
Yeah, wait, so how was this guy's performance? Of course, I mean, we want to judge him on a curve, right? Since he's technically quite new, but any flashes of potential? What was his style like?
I mean, it's a grade 1 match. So you're going to have your arm drags. It's very basic. It's a basic match. Headlocks, that kind of stuff. Like I said, as a person who's watched a lot of wrestling, I can tell, okay, one person's leading the other one. But it's fine. Like I said, we're grading this on a curve, right?
Yeah, okay, cool. Of course, much respect to Greg. Every time I've seen him in the ring, he loves to slow things down, play up the psychology, and I'm pretty sure he highlighted him quite well. So,
yes.
Any thoughts on this Ryan guy? Not referee Ryan, but this Ryan guy. What do you think is his potential?
Like I said, I think there's definitely a lot of potential here because Greg put him over, essentially. Even though Greg,
that's right.
He didn't lose, but he didn't beat him in 5 minutes, like he said. And there's always potential for more, he beats him down later. But we'll see. We won't rush into that kind of stuff.
Curious question, right? What was the makeup of the crowd like? Was there a lot of new people, new faces, non-wrestlers? Like, how were they reacting to this match in particular?
I think there were a few people who were making debuts, so there were new faces. In fact, I ran to ex-colleagues as well. I was like, hey, what are you doing here?
Okay.
And very, very paise also. Sometimes, like the ex-colleague I ran into, I forgot their name. So I'm like, hey, bro, I don't know your name, bro.
Mr. Young famous, you don't need to know people. People know your name good enough. Already.
No, I don't know their name. That's what I'm saying.
I know. You don't need to know their name.
Wow, basket, no, I'm not like that, okay? So there you go. The next match, let's talk about that false count anime, anywhere. Aussie versus Showtime Inc. So this is your false count anywhere, crazy shit spilling out onto the aisleway match, okay? It was a 4v2, essentially.
Did I see a table spot in this match?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, basically, it was supposed to be Julian and Showtime versus Aussie, but then of course Prabhu and Superior. I hope he makes this his name, by the way, Superior Sean, because he got two Seans, right? So he calls himself I'm the Superior Sean. So I hope he calls himself Superior Sean from now, because it's actually a really funny name.
I think that's actually I think that's a gem, bro.
It's and super heelish as well. Like, hey, I'm Superior Sean, and it makes him stand out from the other Sean. But that aside, essentially it was a 4v2 brawl. I mean, like I said, to me, Sean, Superior Sean, really stood out because the dude is so good at ad-libbing the moment when it comes to just being a dick heel,
Okay.
He's constantly interacting with the crowd. There was a spot where they smacked I can't remember who. I think it was the other Sean. Yeah, with a textbook and all these funny spots basically. Oh, there was a spot where the handcuff, the Showtime Inc. brought out handcuffs, right?
Yeah.
And the handcuffs broke.
Wait. Was this part of the show or were they trying to recreate AEW?
No. I don't think it was part of the thing. Like, they handcuffed Sean to the post, right? And then the handcuff broke. And then the crowd, of course, is like, they were having fun with that. Then Val went and took 2 more handcuffs. He's like, I come prepared.
Okay. So he did what AEW couldn't do and actually prepared for any case of like things fucking up, essentially, right?
Or maybe he planned that spot on purpose to reference AEW. Who knows? Maybe. We don't know, huh?
Okay, one question. Did Sean, when the handcuffs broke, did he still kept selling it like he was tied to the handcuffs?
No lah. So the other, the rest of Showtime Inc. held him down a little bit longer lah.
Okay, good. Good that you guys played psychology straight. That's good.
Okay, so it wasn't a table. It was Val was like, get the planks. So it's like, see me plank, right? Planks. So, it's like this chipboard lah. It's not really a plank lah. You think of plank, you think of wooden plank. It's chipboard, right? They mounted it on the 2 chairs. I think, it's tough to go and get a table in that narrow spot, and it might be a little bit dangerous as well because the crowd is super close.
Yeah.
So, but they still did that spot where, it looked like he crashed through the planks.
The chipboard, I think, gave quite a great effect because I saw the dust was flying up. Yeah, it was the sound good though? That's my question. Was the sound effect good though?
It was alright. After that, I think Aussie, they power bombed Val on top of Julian to pick up the win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I feel bad for Showtime Inc., honestly, because this was a 4v2 and they lost the 4v2, so it's never, to me, that's never a good look. Weapons were involved, so you can kind of forgive that a little bit lah.
They need a 5th member to come in and save the day lah.
What? But if they need more members to beat 2 people, doesn't that make them look weak?
Hey, Right to Censor invited their father and their mother all joined.
Bro,
but
maybe the fella who raps their song should show up and be the 5th member, bro.
The fella got stuck by some cuckoo birds around the paradise there, Very hard to come and save the deal.
Oh shit. So this was like a fun distraction. It's a very different style of match, obviously, right? But I was sports entertained, so there you go.
Okay, going into this first 3 matches per se, right? Who was the crowd favorite? Who was had the best crowd reactions?
Oh, best crowd reaction. I would say Aussie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were getting a lot of you mean heel heat also? Because
heel heat as well, yeah.
I think Jordan was getting it from the crowd because he was so full blown heel.
And given Christian also has his fans and he has a great connection with the crowd
as well.
I'm sure he did well as well.
Yeah. But I think that match was more to highlight Jordan than as a heel than the other way around.
Okay.
In my estimation, but there you go. The funny thing is, right, Julian essentially sold his injury all the way till intermission, and after the event, during intermission he was lying on the floor at the snacks and the concession table, bro. He was lying on the floor, bro.
He just sold it lah.
Yeah, sell the injury all the way until intermission.
Reminds me of this one wrestler. Do you remember? I think after the live event finished, he was still laying in the ring and everyone packed up around him.
Funny, yeah. So there you go. That's your false count anywhere match. Okay, then we have Mr. D versus Ban.
Yeah.
Mr. D and Ban versus Inglorious.
All right. So we were talking about this last week as well because we do not know much about Ban. How was your reaction about his performance in this match?
Okay, I really liked his intensity. And I'm going to bring this up over and over again because, how do I put it? A lot of what pro wrestling is selling the moves, right? And selling that you are firing up. When you watch some people, when they fire up, it looks like they are just going, But when he, I felt the What, bro?
Bro, yo. I don't know. It reminds me of that funny lah.
6:30 one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember Ban's intensity when he fires up. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. He's gonna F some people up. You know what I mean?
And didn't Jordan say he was the first Cambodian trained wrestler, right? Yeah. Did he bring anything interesting in his moveset?
That's a good question. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't pay attention to that. It doesn't stand out in my mind.
It's more about his fire and
and the strikes were there and all that kind of stuff. There were a few spots that were kind of cooperation, if you know what I mean. Maybe it's just not used to each other lah, But that stuff is just stuff you can work on. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what about like their performance as a tag team? Like because Bun and D is, are they like, what's their partnership like?
I mean, to me, it's just two people together, lah. I don't know any. You're trying to say like, are they a natural as a tag team? I would say no. It's just two guys tagging together, lah. Like obviously, Remus and Hotshot have more chemistry as a tag team.
For sure.
But they would be the one to pick up the losses here. By the way, Remus misses the moonsault and takes the pin, loses the match to Ban. Some more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, again, so Inglorious got another loss, essentially, right?
Yeah, essentially, right? But a lot of what you're seeing here is sort of like, kind of like a passing of the guard. Like they're putting over the young guys, like Ban picks up the win here, Aussie picking up the win over like...
And they're furthering the storyline of Inglorious having this potential breakup, right?
Yeah, because some of the guys are underperforming. That's sort of an idea lah,
Yeah. You know what I want to see? I want to see Remus versus Greg, and then I want to see Wilson versus Greg. So both of them have their chances to fight Greg, and then both of them fight each other.
What about triple threat, bro?
But if triple threat, it will just end up becoming the two younger guys like beating up on Greg.
True.
Right.
Sure. Okay, then we move on. And we have the number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Have you seen this Simon Sia before or not?
Bro, we've seen him before. I don't know whether you were there with me, but I saw him before, and I deem him like GrappleMAX's Leo Rush.
Leo Rush. Okay, interesting, because when I saw him, all I could think of was Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it something in his personality or his presentation on that day?
If you watch the video I posted, right, he literally, like, while LK is on the top rope, like, cheering the crowd, he's sitting in the corner, like, looking intense.
I saw that.
So that's very, that's very Darby Allin. Oh, by the way, yes, Remus and Greg already faced off at the semifinals of the Gold Standard, if you remember.
Oh, yes, I remember. But that was more of like a respect thing, right? Like a student.
Yeah. No, you're talking full-blown, like, I buisong you.
Yeah, like...
Okay.
Like, yeah, you know where I'm going with that, right?
Okay, so anyway, coming back to this Cruiserweight Championship contenders match, lots of high flying, fast-paced things, spin kicks, flip kicks, that kind of stuff. I like it. I was really impressed by Simon. Once again, it's the fire, it's the intensity that sells it for me. You can do 1,000,001 moves. Everyone can do the same move. Not everyone, but a lot of people can do the same moves. But can you sell it like, you're trying to kick his head off? That is what impresses me.
One thing I noticed, right, like, do you feel like Simon have a bit of that swagger that even Lady Killer had back in the day, or like he still has? Like, it's almost like a younger version mirroring himself.
It's a different swagger lah. It's a different it's the swagger for this generation. Like, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, by the way. I think I chilled too loudly already.
I thought you coughed because you were like, this generation. Like,
no, I'm not being sarcastic or anything, but I'm legitimately losing my voice. So,
okay.
Yeah, I really like what he was doing there. Okay, so there's a ref bump. LK hits the rock bottom, but the ref is down. And all of a sudden, guess who shows up?
Who? Oh, wait. Let me guess. Jordan.
There you go. Because this is for the Cruiserweight title, he still wants the title, so that issue with Christian is not resolved yet, right?
So he basically did a Braun Strowman lah.
A Braun Strowman? What, a reference? Why?
I'm not finished with you.
Okay. Jordan came in, beat down LK, so Simon basically looks like he's helping Simon win lah, but Simon does Swanton to finish the match, which is really cool, by the way.
Cool. So this was when the referee was down and they didn't notice these shenanigans essentially lah.
Correct. But then after that, while Simon is celebrating, bang, one X kick one time. Then Jordan just standing there like, I'm the rightful Cruiserweight contender with the evil look and the, like it was a very, okay, everything, this is all presentation, the lighting, the red color Titantron at the back, because Simon's video package is red color. Like, everything looked perfect in that moment. Like, I have it on my video as well. Like, he looked like a legit, like, badass.
Do you feel like he's kind of low-key the MVP of this past show?
I think you can tell from the way that I've been ranting and raving about our favorite Oppa that he might just be, huh?
Oh, okay. Winning over hearts, Mr. Yam. Your heart as well.
Yeah, even though he's supposed to be a bad guy, lah, but hey, I appreciate the heel-ness, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it when like these wrestlers they got like a chip on their shoulder, and those wrestlers with chip on their shoulder they seem to perform
Yeah.
under immense pressure and like
But
kind of deliver.
can I just say, right? Much respect to your veterans, right? Like your Gregs and your LKs and Val and all of them, because they are essentially trying to build this next generation. You know, this next generation doesn't look good if not for those guys, giving them great matches, right?
Yeah, oh, that's true. And I think one thing great about GrappleMAX is they've always given back and they've always made an effort to highlight like the newer wrestlers.
Yeah.
So like maybe somebody like Jordan, we didn't know anything about him before the pandemic,
Yeah.
but then in these last 3 years, he kind of gained a bit of a bit of a following, and that is down to all these like OG GrappleMAX wrestlers giving back.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely ready for this right now, given his presentation and everything. So there you go. Jordan beats down Simon, and then he declares that he's the number one contender, even though technically it's Simon. So there's probably more to go where this storyline is.
Cruiserweight title scene getting interesting and heating up, Mr. Young.
I know. I'm very excited. So okay, then we move on to the main event of the evening.
Yes. All
The
right.
GrappleMAX Openweight Championship. DJ Cal. There you go. Versus Big Dave. I mean, okay. It starts off with like a game of one-upsmanship. There's respect there, but also it's, like, I can do better than you sort of a thing, right? And Dave was slightly heelish. I mean, okay, it's not like he's just, because technically you have two faces facing off, right?
Yeah.
So he's sort of...
Do you feel though that there was like a bit of tension in the air of like do you feel that there was anything coming, or do you thought like okay, this is just gonna be for the match and
no,
the focus was on that?
I felt like it was just a match, and like it's a match for the championship, But I mean, that being said, right, like when I say Dave is being heelish, I don't mean that he is playing a bad guy and telling the crowd that they suck. No, I'm saying that it's these subtle things, right? Like I think there's a Cody Rhodes quote recently, like what makes a good heel, and he said, It's not about like being an evil person or whatever. It's not giving the crowd what they want.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I remember this.
Yeah. So that's what a heel is, and in a lot of ways, I saw that in Dave that day. Even though technically he's still a beloved character in the GrappleMAX, but it is what it is, right?
Did Cody Rhodes essentially admit that he was a heel in his last run in AEW?
maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the match as well, and yeah, I had no idea what was gonna come, right? And Dave wins with his finisher. What is Dave's finisher? Somebody please let me know.
Was it? I know he does like a suplex as a finisher. It's almost like a jackhammer, right?
No, it's like the Bray Wyatt. What's the name of his stupid move? Sister Abigail.
Sister Abigail. Yeah.
Right, but I don't know. I forget what Dave calls it. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and then he like talks to Cal and it's like, I'll see you somewhere down the road. They hug, they show respect. I'm like, huh? Okay. Like, maybe this is just all right, good match, GG sort of a situation, right?
Okay.
Because we hadn't gotten to the final curtain call yet. Then Dave issues an open challenge, like, who is my next challenger? And guess who steps up?
Wait, okay, so while this was happening, was like Cal like out of the ring?
Yeah, he was like out of the ring.
Okay, so he walked away, and like essentially Dave was back. The spotlight was on him, and he was doing an open challenge.
Yes,
right?
In who is my next contender? Like, who do you think is the next? Who stepped up?
I mean, seeing as you've seen his name pop up, was it Jordan again?
No. It was like he's already involved in the cruiserweight scene. He doesn't need to be in the main title scene as well. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Who would it be?
Okay, I was
idea.
surprised. I was surprised here because he's part of a tag team that is like getting over right now. So I'm like, what?
Okay. I know. I saw this. Was it Chris Jericho himself? YC.
Chris Jericho himself.
Lionheart version.
Oh my god. Oh, Dave says it's called Twisted Sideways. Okay, there you go. It's the Twisted Sideways. I like it.
Nice. Okay, we'll remember that. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's YC, which took me by surprise. I was like, huh? Aren't you in a tag team? So
wait, and he came out alone.
He came out alone. Yeah.
Beside?
No,
No.
he came out alone.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what was the story like? Did he cut a promo or anything?
No lah, they just face off. So it's like, okay, you're next. That's it.
How was the crowd's reaction to that? Because of course YC, we've known him as like a tag team
Yep.
primarily, right? So I would say wasn't this out of the blue, or what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, to me, it was out of the blue. To me, I was like, huh? I don't get it, but I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see where this goes. And like you said, he's part of a tag team, so it, to me, kind of didn't make sense. It would be like if Roman Reigns asked for a challenger, all of a sudden, Angelo Dawkins shows up. I'm like, huh? What?
If Montez Ford showed up, I would like, I can see that.
maybe. Okay, fine. Right, but so that sort of wraps up the proper show, as in the in-canon show, right?
Okay. Before we talk about the last part, like overall, like just on match performance alone, how would you rate this show?
What, upon 10? You want me to give it
upon
upon
10 or
10?
like rate?
I was sports entertained. I would give it a solid 8.5, maybe even a 9.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. And you say, I mean, I can't remember which shows you went for GrappleMAX recently, but was this like easily like your favorite show this year? Or in a while?
I feel like this might have been the first show I've been to GrappleMAX's in this year, because I keep missing the Saturdays. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was the one that came for the previous show. Okay.
But
Cool.
that's why I said you missed a good one because of the venue, and I mean, it's no secret lah. Presentation raises the bar by at least, like, you know what I mean? Like, you give it one extra grade just for presentation alone.
Yeah,
sometimes.
for sure. And no, I'm just so happy that, you know, they elevated themselves and had this venue. Yeah. And I think if people see it, they will be like, okay, I definitely want to check that out. I mean, nothing against the Tampines venue. And I feel like that's a great grassroots location. And like you said, if they were to do their like their preliminary shows or like their smaller scale shows,
but
there,
okay, so with
build towards
that venue as well, you can have other activities which they've done before, like they did in the previous one, right? Like the quote unquote the house party one, where they have wrestling tryouts, they have video game contests, that kind of stuff. Like that place would be perfect for it, as in the Jim Craft place would be perfect for that sort of carnival vibe, I guess is a way to put it, right? Because in a TV studio it's hard because the TV studio itself is not that big. So what are you going to do? Have carnival by the side of the road? Cannot, right?
So one thing I like about GrappleMAX, I think through the years, they have been very open with experimenting where they hold their shows. They had it at Night Festival. Remember, they have it right outside Singapore Flyer before, right before the pandemic. I remember that. So I am not worried about how they present their show, but it's more about like how they structure their calendar of shows throughout the year.
Well, and you know they plan quite in advance, and I mean, to steal their line, I trust their process as well. I mean, like I said, a lot of this show said to me that it is them highlighting their younger talent. And it's always important for any wrestling any wrestling or any media company to highlight their young talent and not just, same old, right? So just by, like, who are the standouts to me in this one? It was Ban, it was Simon, it was Jordan, obviously, Oppa. So just that takeaway alone, I was like, oh crap, it's all like new guys.
Yeah, that's great. And do you feel like, based on what you saw, that they are kind of splintering, like they are starting to have their own following, like each wrestler kind of having their own fan support?
Sure,
right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, because it goes to the whole having a quote-unquote character thing, sort of moving away from the, okay, we are just wrestlers. We are just like young boys, you know what I mean? So I'm glad they're moving in this direction. It makes for, as much as we want to do things traditionally, like, the Japanese style. At the end of the day, right, it's about the marketing as well. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I think what Faiz said caught my eye, bro. Next time, Void Deck Wrestling incoming.
Oh my God. Didn't Kurtista, Singapore's most infamous wrestling fan, didn't he do that already?
Okay, you and Guru Void Deck match in Yishun, please, and get Omar to referee. Omar Julius.
Okay. Thumb Wrestling Championship. There you go, says Irvin. So, if any of you folk in chat have not checked out a GrappleMAX show or local wrestling show, please go and check it out.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question for the people in the chat, like for Greg especially. Will you guys be putting up like the full show or at least highlights of the matches on your YouTube channel? Because I definitely would love to catch it on review. Seems like I missed out on a great show, man. So I really want to check it out.
There were cameras, so I'm pretty sure that there's definitely going to be a YouTube like video up there lah, you know.
Awesome.
I'm
Okay,
pretty
cool.
sure. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so then that brings us to, at the end of every GrappleMAX show, they do the whole thing where everybody comes out and they yell, "We are GrappleMAX," right? And Greg gets on the mic and he's going to make an announcement. And you're like, okay, what's going on? So there's like a little buzz in the crowd. And all of a sudden, he tells us that it is DJ Cal's last match for a while. As in, he's going to take a really long break. So it's not like he's quote-unquote retiring, but I think life gets in the way as well.
I'm sure.
He's going to step away from wrestling for a while. And then it was super emotional. Like, I don't know, maybe Cal didn't, it was very emotional. That's why he didn't want to get on the mic. So Greg had to do the speech for him. That's why,
Wow.
and I also teary-eye, Greg gets super emotional on stage in the ring as well.
Can we tell a short story to the listeners and reveal that actually Jordan wasn't our initial guest that we wanted on the show? Actually, before that, because as a long time follower of GrappleMAX and someone who I've always thought highly of DJ Cal, and then seeing as this was considered his first crack at the title, right?
Yeah.
I actually reached out and asked Greg, like, we all were asking whether he can be on our show to help preview the event. But then very funnily enough, he kind of told me that that he had a lot of commitment. I think he was super busy, so it was very hard to tie down on a slot. And he decided like, okay, I'm sorry, you can't make it, and that's why we pivoted and asked Jordan.
Yeah.
But on hindsight, knowing that this happened, do you feel that there was a reason why he felt like, okay, maybe he should give it another shot to someone else to be on the show?
No need to feel lah. I had a short talk with him after.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much like, he wanted to give the shine to somebody else because he knew this was going to be his like last match for a while. So he didn't feel like it was right to, take the spotlight, which, kudos to him, right? For doing what's good for business, as the saying goes.
Yeah, as all the old timers always say, it's good to go out on your back, right? So what's the future? Did he talk about what's he gonna be doing, or is it just like leave it at that?
Yeah, leave it at that lah. And here's the thing, right? I'm sure this is not it. He's gonna take a break, other commitments, that kind of thing. I'm sure he'll be back at some point. We will definitely see DJ Cal again one.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm so happy for him. And he's doing a lot of great things. I'm sure I see him on social media all the time, teaching classes. Yeah. Being super busy. Do you feel like now that spot open up, like who is going to take up that spot? I wouldn't say like a new guy, because who will be like the established person who can kind of almost be like the face of the company?
You mean the ace? Who's going to be the next ace, as it were?
Yeah, because he will forever be the ace for sure. But if Dave is like the top guy now, if he's number one, who can be 1A?
Ooh, that's a very good question, and I think it might be up to one of these new guys to step up and take that spot, as it were, because it feels like our established favorites, like like LK and whatnot, right? They're sort of like letting this new generation come up to take that spot. So is YC going to be the next guy? We will have to wait and see. How does this play into YC and Sean's sort of partnership in Aussie? Like, are they going to break up? What's going on here? And once again, we have a face versus face main event in the main scene.
Interestingly, and I know they are kind of in the middle of some sort of dissension, but I kind of want Remus back at that spot. Either him or Wilson in that spot.
Well, we'll see. But I mean, after all these losses, right? Maybe what it takes is for them to break away and, be their own guy or whatever.
Yeah, enough speculation. I think the future for GrappleMAX is quite bright. So I understand you kind of had a chat with Greg.
Yep.
What is in the near future? What's going to be the details on the next show?
Akan datang, bro. Just wait and see lah. It's coming soon, I mean, like they say, trust the process. We'll go check out their next event, be it a house show or whatnot. And as usual, you got Nashwan putting out these Avengers level posters up on social media, so always you can see what do they have planned next. I don't think they've mentioned anything about doing an event at that performance studio again, but I'm sure after the response, after what was done, I'm sure they're looking at it again. It's not cheap. I can guarantee you, getting a place like that, be it barter, be it payment, whatever the deal is, I don't know what the deal is, but it definitely wasn't cheap. So we have to take that into consideration as well, because at the end of the day, it's still a business, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And but again, like the presentation really elevated the product, and I almost wish that they kind of told everyone ahead of time, and I think maybe I also understand probably because of the capacity issue.
Surprises are a good thing, but like, you know, the thing is, it's going to be up on YouTube, so we will get to watch it lah. No worries. Greg mentions that House Party in July. It's going to be one of those with like the tryouts and the video game contests and everything, right? And I don't want to say anything, but talking about video games, it's finally coming out lah. So I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. We may see this game get promoted in certain places, if you know what I mean, in terms of the wrestling scene here in Singapore. Okay.
Okay. Let's hope we have good news, because I actually saw the announcement that they finally announced a date for the release, and
it's a day after my birthday too.
Oh, is that? I mean, I don't know whether that's considered a good birthday gift. Do you want that as a birthday gift, Mr. Young?
Okay. I will. I mean, you know, it's still a game that I will play. Of course, okay. I'm trying to be sly about it, but we all know what we're talking about, lah. It's AEW Fight Forever that took forever, but now it's gonna come out.
Nice. Okay. Before that, let's put a bow on GrappleMAX Settle Outside. Any last comments and thoughts about the show, Mr. Young?
Great first impression for those who, you know, saw it for the first time. Of course, not all shows can be on that level, but, you know, it's still a good impression is a good impression lah. I am very excited for the future of GrappleMAX. Like I said, a lot of the young talent really stood out to me. Like, oh wow, okay, I like what they're bringing to the table, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks, guys, for putting on a great show. And I will try my best not to see birds and try to see wrestling instead, guys. Okay, so next show.
They want some of their tights quite tight, so maybe you can see birds in the wrestling show.
Bro,
and we just
Lao Chow, not the Lan Chow, please.
We just went straight back into the sus territory. Okay, talking about that video game, AEW Fight Forever. Yes, that's finally coming out after quite an extended development period lah. And speaking with people in the scene, right? Some of the contacts that I have, it's going to be more of a. Okay, so you know how WWE 2K is more of a sim, like it's really for the hardcore fan. I would say that the WWE 2K games has a very steep learning curve. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole issue is that they wanted to make it a simulation game, right? So I don't know whether it caters to casuals.
Definitely. Like, you mean 2K23? Definitely not. I would say that if you are casual, you are not going to be able. You can button mash, but it won't feel the same. I feel like what AEW Fight Forever is targeting is that casual market. So
got it.
It's like, okay, you have the core wrestling mechanic, which, you know, will be deep enough. Like, I don't think it's going to be just press A, press B. You know what I mean? Yep. But I think it will be easier to pick up than 2K23. And it's going to come with a lot of side games. A lot of these, like, you know, like you've seen the videos, right?
The games, yeah.
So imagine, like, when you go to your friend's house for a party, instead of sitting there for half an hour teaching them how to play 2K23, you fire up AEW Fight Forever, and you're just, it's like playing Smash Bros.
Yeah, okay. I kind of get the vibe of it now.
It's like playing Mario Party, Mario Kart. You know, it's like, you just pick up and play, and you might not even be wrestling. You might be playing the mini game, like the shooting the basketball or whatever bullshit mini game that they have in the thing. I feel like that is the vibe of this game, and it'll be interesting to see, like, once it comes out, like, whether it stands up or not and how it pans out. But I think this is definitely targeting a different market. Just think of it as a Smash Bros, but with AEW characters.
Like how they talk about AEW having a party-style wrestling match. Essentially, this is like a party wrestling game lah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You can kind of put it on and have fun.
Irvin says, later you see the old school need to memorize button combination. Oh my god, no. Bro, those were bad. Those were terrible days where, like, oh, I will do you one even better. WWF Warzone. I for the PlayStation 1, I had that with Stone Cold on the cover, like doing his thing. And then
that was a memory.
To do hip toss, you must front down square. Like, what the hell? And then you have to remember all, you know.
Holy shit, who cares?
And you know who was the champion of that game in my dorm?
Who?
Who else? Bro?
Oh,
who else? The biggest wrestling nerd there.
Of course, it had to be you.
I memorized all, bro. Like any character you give me, I can use to whack you on.
I used to be like that, but for Mortal Kombat games, because Mortal
Oh,
Kombat, you really had to memorize like
bro.
brutality and fatalities, right?
Mortal Kombat 1 is coming out. How hype are you for that?
Oh,
Did you see?
I saw the trailer, bro. Side topic, bro. That was amazing trailer. Huh?
Shit. Hey, so you know, Street Fighter 6 is coming out this
Yeah,
June.
shit. All these old games are coming back. Okay.
Us fighting fans are eating well this year, and I may or may not have bought a fight stick, like you know the arcade stick.
What? So you're gonna play like old school style, huh?
No, not play the new stuff, Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1 when it comes out this this year.
Using the your fight stick essentially, lah.
Yeah, well, I played the open beta with controller. It was like okay lah, can lah, but it's still a bit irritating. You know, I'm like okay lah, screw it lah. Don't tell my wife.
Okay. Last question. Don't tell your wife especially. Last question on AEW, the Fight Forever, right? My biggest concern, and I think most fans' biggest concern, is by the time it's released, how old is the game gonna be? Like, is it gonna be like freaking Cody Rhodes still without neck tattoo or what?
Okay, let's focus on the fact that it's going to be a fun party. Look. Until we see actual footage, we won't know. So there's no use trying to think about it right now. Like literally, my contacts also don't know yet.
Bro, I saw a bit of the footage that I think AEW Games YouTube channel put out. And Kenny Omega's entrance still got the two girls dusting with the cleaner, bro.
Oh my god. And then tell me Chris Statlander comes out as an alien and...
probably Chris Jericho is still the champion or like... I don't even know from which era, yeah.
Hey, but maybe you can customize, so it's fine, right? It's not a big deal.
Okay. I hope they release it and they have a lot of downloadable so that you can kind of update the game as it goes along. Not like release once a year kind of nonsense, right?
We'll have to wait and see, bro. I don't know. I mean, the fact that it took them this long to get a release date, okay, but we'll stay optimistic and then we will see. Irvin says unlimited blood spray everywhere.
They call it the John Moxley special, right?
Which is damn funny, right? Because you want to put blood all over in the game, and then it's supposed to be a party fun game. Like how? Like pick a lane.
Oh, unless they did what WWE did back in the day, right? Remember last time, I don't know which game, but every time, like, for example, Yokozuna sits on top of you, then they got chicken wings flying out.
Oh my god.
And then it's like Undertaker fight got tombstone flying out. So instead of blood, they have all these like substitutes.
Bro, if they did that, I would be so happy because I grew up on that game. WrestleMania, I think it was. It was an arcade game.
Yeah, because I remember it was like early 90s new generation wrestlers. There was a lot of like Razor Ramon, Undertaker.
Yeah, Razor Ramon, like when you punch Razor Ramon, got razors flying out.
Yeah.
So
they really made the characters like superheroes almost, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, there you go. That's something to look forward to. End of June 29th is when AEW Fight Forever comes out. Like I said, a day after my birthday, so... it will be an interesting birthday stream. I'm probably going to stream it on my Twitch channel, so you can look forward to that. Speaking of AEW, shall we jump into the pay-per-views that are coming up this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so like clearly the first part of the show we wanted to talk about GrappleMAX Settle Outside. That is done and dusted. Let's move on to the second part of the show, previewing AEW Double or Nothing and WWE Night of Champions. Let's have AEW first, bro.
Yeah, hold on. One quick reminder as well. Tomorrow, we are dropping another special episode of the show with Andrew Tang, The Statement, because we're going to be previewing SPW Merciless, which is this Friday evening at their Foochow building. It's the Foochow building, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct. It's the Foochow building. Can I announce something as well? And I think based on our conversation with Statement, he wanted to kind of reward our listeners, whoever that's on the stream right now, by giving away some much anticipated tickets, bro, for this Friday, right?
I know, I'm so excited. I'm coughing, bro. You go ahead.
Bro, you go recover, my friend. You go recover. So, as he mentioned, he's actually wants to give away 2 pairs of tickets. When I say 2 pairs, not just 1 or 2, that means there's 4 tickets altogether. So you can bring a friend, bring a girlfriend, bring somebody you want to date.
We know what 2 pairs means, bro.
No, you gotta make it clear, bro. Then the people will ask, they still ask me, 2 pairs. 2 pairs means 2 or 4. No, 2 pairs, bro.
What? Who are you talking to, bro? Don't know what 2 pairs means.
We got some interesting wrestling fans on our DMs, man, by the way. Yeah, so we have 2 pairs of tickets to give away for this Friday. So stay tuned tomorrow. And I think we'll probably give it out on the chat. And those who are Discord, of course, we'll give priority to those of our Discord members as well. Whoever wants who hasn't gotten a ticket yet find out more.
But the real question is, bro, is 2 pairs 4 or 2?
Hey, bro, this one is a hard question, man. 2 plus 2 quick maths, bro. Come on.
Quick math. All right, let's talk about AEW then. AEW Double or Nothing, which happens on May the 28th in the US, which is Monday morning for us lah.
Yeah, correct. So just to be clear, WWE's Night of Champions is Saturday afternoon, but technically Sunday morning for us Singapore fans, right?
Yeah.
But it's Saudi Arabia timing, so it's probably in the middle of the night, 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's probably going to be when we are sleeping lah. To be honest, none of us will be watching. If I'm not mistaken, usually the Saudi shows is at 12 midnight for us or 1 a.m. for us, right?
Something like that. I think 2 a.m. or something. I remember watching it through the night.
It will still be a Sunday watch for me. Let's face it.
It's like a Sunday morning watch.
I'm an old man. I'm an adult now with wife and everything. I don't get to stay up past 2 a.m. to watch shit like this anymore, okay?
Yeah, man, bro. I'm 10 years younger, but I also don't want to stay up so late.
You know, bro. And I just realized, just realized, AEW is going up against NXT Battleground. There's actually an NXT show that's happening during AEW Double or Nothing.
Bro, hands up. Anyone on the chat group, do you even know there was NXT Battleground happening? Somebody tell us.
Are you guys paying attention to NXT? It's like I've stopped paying attention to Raw and SmackDown kind of in the past couple of weeks. Not gonna lie, So
no, for me, Raw and SmackDown you can still follow when you see their YouTube channel. Yeah. But NXT, the people that I like are not there. Yeah, they're not there.
Very quickly, I'll just read you the NXT Battlegrounds card.
Okay, sure.
Why not? Just tell you only, we got Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak, which is a Dominik Dijakovic, by the way. Last man standing match too. Actually, I would freaking watch this match.
What's that? Between the two of them, Dijak and Ilya?
Because we all know Ilya does very well against big guys, right?
Yes, Kuta being one of them, yes.
Yeah, and Dijak is a huge guy. He looks badass, and this is last man standing. I don't know if they needed to go all the way to a last man standing. It's a bit much, but it's Shawn Michaels being Shawn Michaels, huh?
Yeah, okay. I'm not aware of their rivalry, so what's been happening, so perhaps maybe this is the payoff.
Yeah, but I would watch it just based off of, their reputations alone.
Yeah,
for sure. Wesley taking on Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy. Triple threat match for the North American Championship. Big test for Wesley here.
Yeah, I saw Urfi mention something about Wesley now is the longest reigning NXT North American champion.
I think there was a thing where Tyler Bate and Wesley were friend, but then all of a sudden Tyler Bate is like, hey, but I want your title. So it's got that vibe where, when two faces are actually friends, but then they go and insert themselves into a title match because they want the title. And then of course Joe Gacy is Joe Gacy lah.
One thing I must say, right, even though we don't follow the day-to-day storylines of NXT, I feel like their PLE or their takeovers, they do have very intriguing matches if you know them by their reputation.
Yeah. Which goes to show, hey, they've done a good job of establishing who these characters are, and they're just not just work rate people. They're like, oh, okay, interesting character here, there. This one, Noam Da. Do you remember Noam Da?
Of course.
The cruiserweight guy. Good. Yeah. Versus Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. Okay.
Formerly of AEW. He was there for a cup of coffee, if you remember.
Yep. CMLL as well.
This is a British Rounds rules match for the NXT Heritage Cup. Simi F is this?
Will you bother to find out what it is, or are we just gonna see the results?
I think I wouldn't mind watching, but there's a lot to watch, so I'll probably take a look at it, in the background, sort of a deal. But
yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like an NXT UK thing, to be honest. Heritage Cup, like a giant ass trophy. Let's move on. Tournament final for the vacant NXT Women's Championship: Roxanne Perez or Tiffany Stratton versus Cora Jade or Lyra Valkyria.
Okay. Quick question. The last time I remember, Indy Hartwell was the NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Did she have to relinquish it because she was pushed out to the main roster?
Yes, I believe so. I believe she relinquished her title.
Okay. I thought it was because of her injuries, but it's because of that.
Yeah. Interesting. I think it might be Tiffany Stratton's turn because she's been getting a lot of attention. She looks amazing. She's essentially Mandy Rose 2.0 lah.
Sure, she's a built, jacked Barbie doll, essentially, right?
Yes, and I think she's the type of like star that will get eyeballs immediately.
Okay,
I
okay.
I think Cora Jade and Roxanne, they are a bit, not say played out lah, but they've had their chance. They've had their go around at that main title already. So
But do you feel Roxanne is like a bit like, how to say, not a bit of an uncrowned champion, because she had a run with it, but it wasn't.
yeah,
It kind of got cut short, right?
yeah. I don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, Lyra is a face as well. So I don't think they're going to go like Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade, because that's been done before, right?
Yeah, not too much aware of her as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
Tiffany
call is
Stratton
Tiffany Stratton, but there's not much to talk about here because we haven't been watching. So let's move on to
yeah,
to
for
the
sure. For
main.
now, continue, sir.
Main event, Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams versus Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship.
Yes, him, indeed.
Yeah, this time a heel Braun Breaker. And once again, like, I don't know, man. Even though I love the two of them, I haven't been paying attention to this feud. Like, so.
I haven't seen a lot of heel breaker yet. I just know that he's wearing black, as all heels do. But whether he's killing in that role, I'm not too sure. But
Are you saying you are a heel?
I mean, I'm always the heel, bro. I'm always the bad guy. Come on. But Braun Breaker, the longer I see him, right, the more I feel that I'm worried for him if he go on the main roster.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He does seem a bit one note, which is why I'm glad they decided to keep him in developmental for a while to work on this heel character. You know?
Yeah, there's some people that like LA Knight.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't need to do developmental for too long.
Yeah,
He's ready, right?
He can
but then
do
there are
whatever thing you give him. Yeah.
Correct. But somebody like Braun Breaker, if he were to get a Max Dupree gimmick, right, I think he will just get fired already.
Yeah, no,
You
he
know
will
what I
be.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. He would be dead in the water. He would flounder at trying to pull off Max Dupree, and then they'll be like, "Oh no, you can't do anything with this. You got to go." Right. So it's smart. I think it's very smart that they didn't call him up because he needs
Keep
a bit
him.
more time to develop more dimensions, so that when he finally graduates to the main roster, if they want him to be this thing, he can be this. If they want him to be something else, they can be something else.
Yeah. That's why, as much as NXT doesn't get as much attention, it is still a crucial part of the building process for the next generation of stars. I think they
for
need
sure.
to go through that system for sure.
Hey, Fiaz Grinder, what's up in chat? He says he bought of Braun Breaker. Same, bro. See, that's the thing. I think, that's why they had to turn him heel, because they realized the ceiling as a face, unless he develops a different type of face, but it's hard. He's a Steiner at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He should just do Steiner math. I think that...
Yeah, that was the thing that made him interesting, right? Because the fact he's related to a Steiner guy.
Yeah. Okay, so they, NXT, are going head-to-head with AEW Double or Nothing. Here we go. And I would love to know from chat, right? Let me know if you're actually ordering this, buying this on Fight or not, because I've said this many times, I've stopped paying attention to Dynamite. It's very hard for me to watch, because it's just...
I can tell you now upfront, I haven't been watching Dynamite and I'm not ordering this pay-per-view for sure.
Wow, okay. I mean, I try to keep up, but every time I do, I find myself like going, why am I wasting my time watching this shit? And this is not, Mr. Young bias against AEW. We've established this many times. If it's good, I'll watch, but it just really has not been, and...
I consider myself an AEW fan.
Yeah.
Like I bought into like everything that was what they believed in, right? Like an alternative to WWE.
Yeah.
I bought the first All In. I was super excited when they were announcing 2019 all the stuff that came along, and I really supported them. But I feel like, and it's not even since CM Punk left. I think since probably like end of last year after MJF became champion.
Yeah.
I do not know whether the company is distracted or there's too many things going on behind the scenes, or like Tony is planning too much for Collision or whatnot, or the Wembley show. But I just feel like the product hasn't been focused at all.
Yeah. I think it's everything you just said.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Khan is definitely the main culprit there. And not that I'm saying, he's such a bad, lousy person or what. It's just he cannot take on everything. He needs to entrust the roles to his generals and let them do it. People with the, experience, right? Instead of trying to book everything. And it shows in his booking. It's all over the map. So anyway, let's just run down the card, all right? And we got Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho.
Your guy, bro. How has your guy been? all this while.
It's an unsanctioned match somehow, unsanctioned match.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Because of the stuff with Britt Baker, she got injured. Like, they even are selling a shirt of her bruised eye and everything.
I know it was a thing, and I know Roderick Strong recently came back, and correct me if I'm wrong. Roderick actually got the victory over Chris Jericho, like in one of their Falls Count Anywhere match.
Is it? I remember like Roderick Strong came back, but he's not the main focus of this feud. It's Adam Cole.
Yeah, he came back, and his debut match was in like an 8-man together with Adam Cole against JAS.
Yeah.
And then he actually challenged Jericho to one-on-one Falls Count Anywhere match last week.
Mm-hmm.
And because apparently Adam Cole was banned from the arena, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all well done and good. And then, of course, Adam Cole appeared somehow to distract Jericho. But is it the right decision giving Roderick the victory? Because Jericho lost, basically, ahead of this showdown with Adam Cole. That's like telegraphing the winner already, right?
Right, yeah, that Jericho's going to win, because he has to, 50-50 booking lah, right? Here's the thing, and I feel bad for Roddy, but to me, it feels like he made his big return, the crowd was flat as F, and him winning in an 8-man cluster F of a match is not going to take away from the fact that he's not coming in as a main star. He comes in, he's Adam Cole's sidekick. Just because
he's
he gets
back
a win.
to where he started, essentially, right?
Yeah. So he's like, I'm back. Oh, look at me. Nobody paying attention. Okay, never mind. I just, and no matter how you go and give him a pin in an 8-man tag, it's not going to make a damn difference. It's about the perception of it. Like, like, say what you want. WWE knows how to make their debuts make a splash. Like, they come in, they freaking, like, go up against somebody of note, and, they do well instantly, right?
Okay. My problem is, right, I feel like the current AEW stars are not as big of a star as they think they are.
Nope, absolutely not. They're big on the indies, and that's the whole Young Bucks problem, right? Like, we think we're the shits, but when it comes to drawing numbers, can you draw? I don't know. Fias says somebody needs to buy Mr. Young a Jericho Appreciation Club t-shirt. Hey, I'm a fan. I used to be a huge fan. Chris Jericho has always been my favorite wrestler, and then the current stuff, it's a fall from grace, yeah. Okay.
Would you consider this just a blip? Like, this is just one of those days where like Jericho is having a bad run, or do you feel like he has irrevocably damaged his like reputation?
I think he's one of those guys that needs to be in a situation where he is controlled, versus he goes all out and like runs with whatever idea.
Is he Vince Russo?
Yes. In a way, yes. Him and Moxley are two prime examples of people who are talented. I'm not saying they are not talented. I'm saying they are very talented, but sometimes they have ideas that are just not that good, but they think it's amazing. And you need somebody to tell them, actually, let's not do this. Let's try something else. I think, yeah. Like,
nobody in AEW can tell them no. Like, do you think that they will listen to anyone if they shut down their idea?
First of all, Chris Jericho is so tenured there, right? None of the other wrestlers are going to say no to him. And his boss is not going to say no to him because his boss is a mark for him.
Exactly, right? Because I think Vince McMahon worked.
Yeah.
Because Vince McMahon is always like busting his ball. Remember there was this one very funny story he always told people when he was supposed to win the Undisputed title that night. And then Vince McMahon went to Stone Cold or Undertaker and said like, oh, you know how when the industry is going down the toilet? They're putting the title on Jericho.
We're putting the title on Jericho.
But Jericho is the kind of guy who, I think he works best with a chip on his shoulder, like Jordan.
Yes. That is absolutely true. So, this match, it's like two guys with chips on their shoulders, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Unsanctioned match will basically mean everybody and their mother is going to come out. The entire JAS. Then you're going to get Roddy Strong. I don't know if Kyle is back. Maybe Bobby Fish will come back also.
You know if this was a way to bring back Kyle, Tony Khan will put him in this spot.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Tony is a mark enough that he will just bring all of them back one. So, I mean, if anything, you just watch it for the Undisputed Era reforming and then promptly get buried.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
I think Adam Cole his return is just blah. Like, he's back, but like I don't care. And the problem is they try to make like this inspirational story. Of course, they did the All Access show talking about his return from injury. His return to AEW should be as big as Cody Rhodes' return to WWE.
Yep.
They could have booked him like that, right? And like he make every single match special, every single moment he does on the ring special. But I don't think Tony Khan knows how to book well.
No, well, I mean, you think we've like beat that point down into the ground here? Yeah, no, he's been booked like a mid-carder at best, and he's been bogged down by this Chris Jericho nonsense, and it pains me.
Speaking of dead on arrival, right, bro? Don't you think Adam Cole's AEW run has been dead on arrival? The moment when he debuted, 10 seconds later, Bryan Danielson debuted over him.
Bro, yeah, exactly. We pointed it out when it happened, right? Instead of spacing that out, maybe have Bryan Danielson appear the next day, or have Bryan Danielson appear at the pay-per-view and then Adam Cole appear on the Dynamite. At least you space it out. No, this one, Adam Cole shows up. 10 seconds later, Bryan Danielson shows up. It's like, wow, you just completely eclipsed his debut. Good job, numbnuts.
Yeah. So like right now, going into this match, Double or Nothing, I would say it's like super cold. It's a cold match.
Yeah, it's quite cold. I'm not interested in it, unfortunately, because it's two names. Like Adam Cole was the hottest when he was at NXT. Remember when it was like, boom, Adam Cole, baby, like he was hot. Now he's flat as. Oh my god. Let's move on.
But I argue that his song in AEW is actually much better in my opinion than the Undisputed Era song, and his crowd reaction is actually much better because of the song, but they're not capitalizing on it. They are like relying on it as opposed to creating stories beyond it.
That's cute, but yeah, exactly. This is not a video game. This is real. Like, well, then again, you have a bunch of video game. I was about to say you have a bunch of video game nerds running this shit. Nothing against video game nerds, because that's what I am, and a lot of us are here as well. But yeah. Anyway,
it is what it is. All right.
Ethan Page and the Guns versus the Hardy Party. Jesus, what is this horse shit?
Hardy Party. So that's what they are calling the Hardy Boys and Private Party, yeah?
So, no, it's only Isaiah Cassidy because I believe the other fella injured.
Ayo, okay. So it's a 6-man.
6-man. Isaiah Cassidy, Jeff and Matt versus Ethan Page and the Guns. Again, another big return of an iconic name, but the problem is they bastardized the Hardys to a point where I don't care. Like, literally, I don't care about this match.
Didn't they do the firm deletion on a Rampage when they know that nobody watches the Rampage? So they bastardized the final deletion concept, which was the biggest thing on wrestling a few years ago.
And okay, maybe this is hot take, but this whole compound film deletion shit, I think it's played out AF. It was cool. It was cool when it was in TNA and nobody did it. And then the cinematic match became a thing, and then WWE has done it a few times. They tried to do it again with Matt. It didn't really work out. And then now they tried again at AEW. It's like, oh, it worked once because it was novel, and it's done.
Yeah. It's the same issue with Orange Cassidy, right? Like, it's funny the first time, but you repeat it so many times, it's like, whatever, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing. The problem is also there's nothing new to it. You can have that gimmick, but like, if you're constantly coming up with some new wrinkle to it, then yeah, I guess. But, beyond it is a joke, right? And this match is a joke. And there are more stipulations, bro. If the Hardy Party wins, Matt Hardy will own Ethan Page's contract. Like, shut up. Stop it.
Bro, no. You know that they played this whole story actually almost like 3-4 months where the firm owned Matt Hardy's contract. Yeah. But I tell you, nobody cared. Like, nobody was following that storyline at all, bro.
This is so sad, considering you have the Guns who are the most, like, you talk about the most potential in this group. It's the Guns.
Yeah.
Ethan Page give up already. Like, I don't care if it's a booking or what, but remember when we were like, actually, this fella got a lot of charisma. Actually, he's not bad, got chance. Now he's been doing all this bullshit with the firm and what's the fella, Stokely Hathaway and all that, and then now he's dealing with, like, oh my god, he's, to me, like...
To be honest, I felt like MJF, like, screwed them over.
You think so?
Because, remember when MJF first returned, he was supposed to be aligned with the firm, right?
Oh, yeah.
But somewhere along the way, they went away from that original idea. I think maybe because of whatever CM Punk did, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of, like, separated MJF from the firm. But then, because of that, the firm was dead on arrival.
Right?
Well,
I mean, to be fair, they were kind of already dead on arrival because of multiple reasons. Considering who is in the firm, you had this giant big cast and you couldn't even get him over.
Poor guy.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on, yes.
This is painful, bro. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Championship. Who cares? I mean, Jade Cargill is the forever champion. AEW
Jade
fight forever. She's the forever champion.
Remember, last time it was Cena wins LOL. I think this is Jade Cargill winning LOL. Like, whatever, man. We know she's gonna win.
Yeah, but at this point, like, I don't even care that she has this unbeatable streak. Remember when Goldberg had his unbeatable streak and it was a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
the problem is an unbeatable streak and undefeated streak is supposed to build up the hype and the momentum.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Jade Cargill, it has caused diminishing returns.
Okay, this is weird to say, but it's now a burden on her, I feel.
Yeah, like release her from that burden, bro. Let her loose.
Yeah, because you literally can't book anything interesting now that, she's winning. Like, I guess maybe Taya Valkyrie as a, as a character, you could see her as a potential threat. But really, even like the way she's been portrayed, Taya Valkyrie, it's been like, okay, I don't think she's going to take the title off. And it's not hot. This is a cold match as well.
Would you book Taya to win this TBS championship?
I would. I feel like she would do a lot more with the title and maybe start fighting other people and elevate. But we all know there shouldn't be two of these titles. The women's division is thin as it is. And this is the biggest problem with this quote-unquote Jade Cargill title. Their division is so thin, she fights in such a small pool, and it's always with people who just come and go, rotating door of nobodies.
Yeah, I need her to lose because I feel like she hasn't shown her ability in the ring as well because she's booked to be strong. If she had to like do a 10-minute match, or like fight from underneath, at least we can see more of her versatility, right? Right now, she's not showing her full potential, in my opinion, as a champion.
Best thing they can do is throw that TBS title in the trash. They won't because it's their parent company. The brand. But just, I don't know, merge it or whatever, that title is useless. You know what I would do? Who is the freaking champion right now anyway? It's what's her face? Jamie Hayter, right?
Jamie Hayter, yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Jamie Hayter, unify. Don't waste. Stop messing around with this stupid women's division already.
Problem with Jade Cargill, I think her charisma and her promo skills are much better than her wrestling skills.
Yeah.
Like we know her, like she's badass, she's proud, black woman, all those kind of things, and why not use her on the ring? Because my most memorable moment of Jade Cargill, do you remember what's her most memorable promo she ever did?
I'm that bitch.
It's not her that was cutting the promo. It was Brandy Rhodes. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember, who the hell do you think is Fight Night? Open mic night. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So like I feel like having her causing all these like Maury moments, Jerry Springer moments, that's the thing that will make people watch the show.
Jade Cargill needs to be that sort of unstoppable monster that keeps getting screwed out of winning a title. Whoever is the champion just ducks her over and over and over and over until finally she can't get out of defending the championship, and that's when you get Jade Cargill to take the title. But at this point, Jade Cargill has been the champion of a division that means nothing. So, okay, there you go.
She needs that Bret Hart whining run, where she was a whiny heel in 1997. Like, I like her to be like that.
Who, Jade?
Yeah, let her lose and then let her complain that she gets screwed over by the management over and over again.
I don't know if Jade can pull off whiny because she is quite a strong, powerful character. She would be like very, like in your face. Yeah. So I don't know if whiny is the word we.
Or maybe use. Like feeling that she's been held down.
Sure.
And like kind of cause a huge problem. Like be a Karen in that scenario, I guess.
We already got Chelsea Green for that. All right, let's move on. We have a lot more to cover. Blackpool Combat Club. What the hell? Why there's so... Wait, how... Okay. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. What is Shota Umino doing in this match?
Okay. And against the Elite?
I clearly haven't been paying attention. Versus the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Hangman, Adam Page, and Konosuke Take a Shit.
Okay. I know the whole scenario with Takeshita because I was following that. But Shota Umino, I have no idea how he came into the picture.
Did it happen on like Rampage or something? Because I'm looking at it on like the match listing right now. So this is an Anarchy in the Arena match.
They had it last year clearly, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be like a bullshit, like nonsense match. Okay, I guess it's going to be fun. Whatever. I am so bored of the BCC, BBC, whatever you want to call them already. Bryan Danielson, the best freaking worker you have there, modern style. And amazing on the mic. he's just this yappy dog now that just like, I want to beat you guys up because we want you guys to be as good as us. We want the best out of you. Like, what the? I don't think he believes what he's saying.
Do you think that BCC where they are at now is actually the biggest disappointment in AEW?
Yes, I would agree because and John Moxley, like we don't have to go there again. Claudio is like this uber talented guy who's just basically a mute bodyguard at this point.
Yeah, like you literally had what potentially could be the bloodline storyline in AEW, right? You literally have the best so-called biggest names, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio, all running the show. Why are they not highlighting each one of them in their own special way? Why are they not having dissension among them? I've never even seen a backstage segment where Bryan Danielson like disagree with Moxley. The moment they turned Bryan Danielson back heel and everyone followed along, just became heel for the sake of it. It wasn't explained. So like I don't identify or feel connected to this storyline at all, which is such a shame given the talents involved.
Look, I put this squarely on the fact that they're working a program with the elite who don't know how to build a television program to save their lives. As much as, you know what I mean? And at this point, can you even argue otherwise? Name me one Young Bucks feud in the past however many years since AEW has started that really stood out to you. That they weren't just doing their same old with people they do the same old with.
Okay, the closest, and I thought like the one that actually they showed some form of long-term storytelling was Hangman's eventual chase for the title the first time, right?
Sure.
Like, I thought there was an effort there, but again, if you count that as one, and they've been doing in this company for like 4+ years, isn't it like a bit of a waste? Like they are not.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be putting over new stars. Okay, another thing. They talk about building the best tag team division in the entire industry, right? Which tag teams have they put over and made into stars?
Bro, the moment to put FTR over, they should have, they didn't, right? And they buried FTR into the ground because they knew that they would lose their position and they just couldn't handle it. It's so obvious, it's not even funny. I don't care what anybody says, like, and now, FTR are the champions now. It means nothing already at this point.
Yeah. And again, like, of course, I might come across as biased here, but of course, as a CM Punk fan,
oh boy,
I wouldn't even talk about how CM Punk is great and all that, blah blah blah, right? But just on objectivity alone, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If CM Punk was in this position feuding against BCC, right? I think it will be the most compelling television right now.
Bro, imagine if it was, exactly, BCC versus CM Punk and friends, like FTR and CM Punk. Holy shit, that would be good.
Yeah.
No, CM Punk would probably talk to Moxley, hey bro, relax with your bleeding all that shit, you know.
No, but again, like I think they have real heat, right? I think after whatever happened, CM Punk and Moxley like don't like each other possibly. Can you imagine the kind of bombs that they have?
Just do business. Like, Edge and Matt Hardy did business, for crying out loud. There's so many people who hate each other that did business. At the end of the day, it's drawing money, right? I don't think Mox is that well. Actually, never mind. I don't want to.
No, but I would say, like, because of their dislike for each other, imagine the promos. Imagine how much CM Punk will bring out of Moxley. Kenny Omega can't do the same thing.
No, because I mean, as great as Kenny is in the ring, we have to give him that. He's not the best at promos.
Yeah, and I feel like if Bryan Danielson as a heel character fights against CM Punk, I think they will draw money, man.
Well, there's always the London show, so we have to cross our fingers that they sign the damn contract or make it work.
So like, I know we will probably touch a bit on AEW Collision, right? And I have no idea what's going on there because they talk about how initially CM Punk was going to be announced, but now he's being pulled back. There's some drama backstage, blah blah blah. Whether he or won't he? I feel like AEW's future, and I'm not even like using hyperbole here, right? Like it rests on CM Punk coming back, because if CM Punk comes back, I feel that there's an opportunity to still change the culture and get us back on track. But CM Punk is not there. We already know how the product is without him.
Yeah,
it's not gonna get any better for sure.
Okay, so. I agree that CM Punk would make a huge change, but then you have to understand, right? If he does come back, there's going to be a huge, fault line in between the rosters. And this might lead into the whole idea of Collision. Maybe you do separate the roster into two different shows. So you got your Saturday show for your flippity-floppity Cucamonga Kids crew, and then you have the other one for the proper serious sports entertainers or pro wrestlers. And that might be the solution to the problem, right?
That could even create like a proper, like two different philosophies, see which one works.
Yeah.
And they base it on numbers and results. If one shows is better than the other, then okay, Tony Khan can make a good decision on where to go his company, right?
Well, to be fair, though, Saturday is gonna always perform poorly compared to a Wednesday night, because Saturday night people are going out, they're going party. So I don't, and that's the other thing, right? It's a Saturday night show, 2-hour Saturday night show. Do you remember AEW doing a weekend Saturday night show as well called Battle of the Belts?
Are they still doing it every quarter?
Do you remember them doing a few of them? Beyond the first one, nobody gave a flying F about any of the rest. So I'm honestly very worried for Collision. Now they have Dynamite 2 hours, they have Rampage 1 hour, they have Collision 2 hours. Ooh, boy.
I'd rather Collision take over Rampage's spot. Let them get Friday nights head-to-head with AEW. WWE SmackDown, I think.
No. Friday, make Rampage a magazine show then. Or put the AEW, that what was that, the reality show on the Friday night lah.
Yeah, perhaps. They already taped Rampages right after Dynamite. So if they want to keep it live and put it on as a third hour of wrestling that night, sure, why not, right? But my issue is, the thing is, like right now CM Punk is like causing a lot of drama, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking about how like he's a very disruptive influence, like he's causing blah blah blah. But I argue his name being tied to this AEW is actually giving the clicks, giving the views, giving the interest in AEW. Yeah. Unless there is somebody, and I would even argue MJF is not on this level of causing, like a conversational topic, water cooler topic. Unless there's somebody in the company that can replace the kind of clout that CM Punk does, we have to deal with the fact that he's the biggest star. He's like a Hulk Hogan situation, right? Like, unless there's somebody out there that can replace him at this point in time, he is the top star and they need him at this point in time.
No, I agree with you 100%. So, it's never going to change if Tony Khan doesn't nut up and scold his favorite boys. It's really all there is to it. He needs to nut up and tell his boys to stop messing around, and work. Everybody must work together. The problem is, that's never going to happen. Maybe it will in 10, 20 years when he finally gets a hang of this business. But, Vince McMahon would never put up with bullshit like this.
Yeah. And I know this is a bit like further down the road, talking about Wembley and Forbidden Door coming up, Collision, right? But let's talk about the present, right? Because apparently, like, the company is building this whole pay-per-view around the 4 Pillars match, right? I don't know whether we want to talk about that yet. Is there any more other matches that we haven't talked about?
Oh yeah, there are 9 freaking matches in this card that has zero interest. That's why we need to. Okay, let's jump back into it. Okay.
Yeah, let's clear up the rest of the matches before we talk about the main event. Yeah.
Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. I'm done with the green NWO, really, like whatever they call themselves. Like you had an opportunity with Saraya, you debuted her, made her look like shit. It completely backfired on you, and then now she's part of a faction that nobody gives a crap about.
Sad. Jamie Hayter, I still think is incredibly talented, one of the better stars that they have. Yep. Not giving her a spotlight, not letting her talk, even though she can speak. I think she got charisma, and I think she should be a big star that they are misusing.
At least Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm is a dependable match because they've worked with each other before. We've seen this match before, but the alignment was different. Like Jamie Hayter was the heel, Tony Storm was the face. Now it's Dombale, right? So, but there's going to be shenanigans and whatever. At this point, the next match, lagi worse, bro. 21-man battle jack. No, not battle jack. 21-man blackjack battle royale.
I saw this segment on Dynamite. This is for Orange Cassidy's belt, right?
The International Championship. Oh boy.
Tough. I actually prefer the All Atlantic title name better, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So you got Orange Cassidy, Aaron Solo, Powerhouse Hobbs, QT Marshall, and 17 other to-be-named competitors.
Bro, this is the traditional. I'm gonna debut someone just for the cheap pop, and he's gonna disappear after that.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, okay, to be fair, if this were anywhere else, there would be a big debut and then they will probably have a good run. But knowing AEW, you're right. They'll, oh my gosh, look who it is. And then they will just completely like disappear for 3 weeks after that and nobody will remember, right?
If they were smart, they would use a wrestler that's already existing on their roster and highlight him.
Not QT. Oh my god, I said the wrong name. Powerhouse Hobbs. All I want to see is Powerhouse Hobbs annihilate everybody in this match. That's all that matters. He needs to come in and massacre everybody.
Is Orange Cassidy in the match? Like, is he defending his title in the match or what's going on?
Yeah, he is in the match itself. I don't know what the specific rules are, but yeah, he is in the match as the champion. So he obviously has a massive disadvantage here.
Yeah, I think it's like a casino battle royal where they have like the spades and the cards all coming in for four wrestlers at a time, that kind of vibe lah. But and there will be the Joker, and I hope the Joker is Powerhouse Hobbs because he needs to bounce back from that terrible TNT title run.
And he needs to get away from QT Marshall. And what is it? Are they still doing QT TV or whatever nonsense? Some of the worst acting I've ever seen in anything whatsoever.
It's supposed to be like the TMZ lah, but whatever. Man.
Community theater shit.
It's tough. Oh, okay. So again, Powerhouse Hobbs, good enough. This should be like in the start, the intro match lah, or even to be in the freaking preview. What do you call it?
Pre-show.
0 hour.
Yeah.
Pre-show. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, Wardlow, who is the TNT champion, versus Christian Cage in a ladder match.
You know what, Mr. Young? I actually low-key am looking forward to this match.
I mean, it's Christian Cage, right? I hope he's healthy enough to pull this match off, first of all. You know, he's getting up there in age and he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Shouldn't this be Lucha versus Wardlow, though? Be
honest with yourself. Would you rather see this match or see Lucha versus Wardlow?
Fine, you're right. Would you agree if I said that Arn Anderson as Wardlow's mouthpiece has been the shits?
Yeah, to me, it ruined his mystique a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, Batista just became a single star, and then suddenly you saddle him with Ric Flair again. Like, for what?
Wait, hold on. That might not be the most accurate comparison because Ric Flair is great on the mic. Arn Anderson was the enforcer of the Horsemen. He's not the mic guy. He is. Remember, when he was the mic guy for Cody Rhodes. Remember what he said? Was it like a gun?
The Glock.
The Glock, like that promo. Oh my god, that's so awkward. And now the stuff he's doing with Wardlow also like, wow, damn awkward. Yeah, like, bro, he's not a mic guy. Why are you making him talk for Wardlow? Wardlow probably talks better than him.
Funnily enough, it's so weird that we are at this stage, but Christian is one of the top heels in AEW right now.
No, but he hasn't been portrayed or put in that position. He's just a heel doing very good work. Like, we all recognize that he is a top heel, but he's not positioned as a top heel.
Exactly. So unintentionally, he is one of the top heels in AEW right now. And I feel like if you put the belts on him, at least they will highlight the TNT Championship in a good way because, you know, it's on one of the best talents that they have. Right. Wardlow, my God. Remember this time last year, Double or Nothing, when he squashed MJF? Yeah. He was one of the biggest stars in the company at that point in time.
Maybe if Christian takes the title off of Wardlow can move on to bigger and better things. I don't know. Or more than likely, if Christian Cage does win it, it'll be thanks to Luchasaurus, and then it'll be Wardlow versus Lucha as the feud moving forward. Because at some point you have to highlight Luchasaurus, as much of a botch king as this idiot is.
As much as we are unsure of the status of Christian Cage right now, whether he's truly healthy. Imagine, bro, just imagine for a second, Christian Cage wins the title, carries the title all through the summer.
Yep.
Defends the title at Wembley Stadium. Imagine the promo he will cut on the British fans.
Yeah, no, I think it would be amazing. And can you imagine? Just let me build further on that. Right, he becomes champion and doesn't defend it a single time. Lets Luchasaurus do all his dirty work.
That will be even better. Yeah. And a great way to highlight a new talent as well.
Yeah, and then he gets to rest his body because, he's getting up there in age, and he can build heat for being that Weasley champion that will not defend his title but keep sending in his heavy. So you build that anticipation for Wardlow versus Christian Cage Part 2.
Yeah. It's exactly like what the Miz did with Mizdow, right? Like he had Damien Mizdow wrestle his matches for him, essentially,
So,
right?
so that being the logical build up, it will probably not happen. And you know what happened? Some bullshit. Maybe Wardlow will win. Or somehow
What?
Luchasaurus, it becomes a triple threat and Luchasaurus or some horrible booking.
Oh my god! I love Wardlow. I still want him to succeed, but I just do not know how he can recover from all the shit that he's gone through this recent last few years.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
Arn Anderson is not the answer here. Let's move on. Co-main, I don't know if it's co-main event, but you know what I mean. FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Mark Briscoe is the special guest referee.
Oh my god! Wow, there's so much to unpack, bro.
Wait, hold on. What is this? Why is every match a convoluted piece of shit? Like, why got so many this, that, and the other thing one?
This is essentially AEW's the closest thing they can do to booking an FTR versus Briscoe's match on a AEW product, because they screwed it out. You know, they didn't do it. They didn't pull the trigger, kept it in ROH.
Yeah.
And now they have to like make do with like, of course they use the whole scenario of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal being friends with Mark Briscoe. So Mark Briscoe's kind of loyalties is a bit like, I don't know who to support. But bro, FTR, bro, poor FTR.
Even as champions right now, and it's really not their fault because the tag team division under the care of the Young Bucks is shambolic. What other tag team is there in contention? Go. Name me one other tag.
Bro, the last two champions who held the titles were one of the two young rising stars, right? We had the Acclaim, we had the Guns.
Yeah.
Where are these two teams now?
Oh, the Guns are hanging out with Ethan Page to fight the Hardy Party.
Yeah. And the Acclaim completely like, where are they now? Like they didn't even bounce back from their loss.
Is it injury?
So I know they're not. They're just not doing anything, right?
Oh, what?
So I
Long-term
feel
booking,
like
you guys.
the problem with AEW is they keep building stars, give them a bit of momentum, and after that, just don't do shit with them.
Yeah. It's the whole like, somebody makes a debut and then they disappear for 3 weeks. Like style of booking, whatever this guy. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, I don't care about this match. Like I see all the veterans in there. I know they'll put on a good match, but who gives a shit about Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus FTR? Like, let's get real. You know, nobody cares, right?
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Very quickly, Miro made a return on Dynamite. So did Thunder Rosa. Okay, Thunder Rosa don't care. Do we see Miro maybe in that Blackjack Battle Royale as a surprise entrant or a wild card?
Did Miro have like a mini feud with Orange Cassidy? I feel like they faced each other in the ring before when he was TNT champion. But Miro returning and winning the international title, that would be a great start.
Yeah, but then again, they've botched the surprise because they already show him showing up on Dynamite. So I don't understand why they would do that if that were the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard. It's so weird, but
that whole scene on Dynamite where he just shows up, goes into Tony Khan's office, and that's all we got. Right? Was there anything else? Did I miss something?
No, that's it. It's just a lot of people went to his room, and then suddenly Tony Khan was like, "Oh, since a lot of people are queuing up for a chance, I'm gonna just debut a new show." Like, okay, whatever.
Wow. Fia says House of Hitam, bro.
Oh my god, wait. Speaking of which, are the trios champions gonna have a match in this show or not?
Why would they have a match? Why would they have...
So you have the House of Black with the trios championship and they're not doing anything on this show?
Nope. Why? Bro, why... Tony Khan asks, why would you have a team or a group or an act that is over and finally gaining momentum? Why would you put them on the show? No need to put. Bro, no need. Make them disappear for 3 weeks.
House of Black won the title against the Elite.
Yeah.
And they just had a one-off match and they didn't have a feud, nothing. They just won and that's it.
Yeah. They went home. Like case in point, this is AEW booking. Oh, you had your moment, now you disappear. Let's get to
Trios title won by House of Black, but then they choose to highlight the Elite going forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is AEW for you lah. Okay, let's just get this
Finally,
over and done with. The 4 Pillars match, which, I mean, we've said this already, right? This could have been so much more. This could have been MJF versus Darby Allin in a heated rivalry that we know that they can go, right? Mm-hmm. And then you could have Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy as sort of a, extra match, or maybe a match on Dynamite to settle their feud. But no, they want to have their 4 Pillars match. I get it, But let's face it, just looking at this lineup, right? Isn't it obvious who's going to win?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's zero anticipation for this.
The problem is they put their bandwagons on these 4 pillars, made it a thing, and then ran with it no matter what the scenario. Like, even
Yeah.
if they were super cold, I don't care. I'm going to pull the trigger on this four pillars match.
Yeah, well, Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy, I think. Unfortunately, those are the two dragging this feud down, right? As talented as Sammy Guevara has been, we've seen him very talented. He had so much heat with his girlfriend, Ty Mello Conti, whatever. And then they disappeared into the JAS as part of the lackeys. And you know, and then Jungle Boy, another, the whole Christian Cage thing. And then now with his whole shitty attitude coming out, it's like nobody really cares about him anymore. So it's like, and the surprising one is Darby Allin standing out and like suddenly becoming the guy, right, on the mic. So I would much rather see MJF versus Darby Allin here. Yes.
I agree, and I feel like if you want to talk about 4 pillars, honestly, I would rather have Ricky Starks on this spot. I would rather have Wardlow on this spot.
Where is Ricky Starks?
Yeah, poor guy. My poor guy had this stupid feud with Jericho. Again, sorry, bro. Jericho totally ruined his momentum. Then suddenly pivot to Juice Robinson and Jay White is part of AEW, but no one cares.
Yeah, where are they? Why are they not on this pay-per-view?
Bro, Jay White, one of the biggest New Japan stars, was a former world champion, came into the show, disappeared out of the background now. Poor fellas.
Again, this is AEW booking. Okay, hopefully with Collision they have more shows to put, but I don't know.
If it was me, honestly, if they wanted a real 4 pillars, and it would have made sense storyline wise, because clearly Ricky Starks had that one-off match with MJF, lost by cheating, and had to fight his way back into title contention. Ricky Starks should have been in this match. Wardlow, if he had dropped the TNT title, he would have said, hey, I'm the only one who squashed MJF recently. I deserve a chance at this match.
Yeah.
And then Darby Allin, long history with MJF. Imagine these 4. I think the promos, the storylines will be so much better, bro.
But no, Tony Khan was fixated on, these are the 4. We put a T-shirt with the 4 pillars. Like, whatever lah, bro. Whatever. Okay, let's put a bow on this. Will you watch this post-event, like highlights? Okay, I know you won't buy it and watch it live, but would you watch it after the fact, free of charge? Or would you not even waste time and watch highlights? Like, what is your level of commitment to this right now?
My level of wrestling commitment this weekend just to watch, I'm going to watch Night of Champions live. Even though if it's late at night, I will watch that.
Okay.
Everything else, I'll check the results.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this as well. Like, that's why I'm like so happy that I got to go to settle outside the GrappleMAX show, right? It's like, at least I'm enjoying wrestling. You know, it's something new and fresh and really exciting to see. When I look at this card on AEW, I will probably pick and choose which match I want to watch post-event.
Yeah.
But
unless something interesting or newsworthy happens on the show.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I've always said this, right? They always over-deliver on their pay-per-views. They will just go and do all sorts of crazy shit, for better or for worse. So I think there's always the value there. But then, you know, like, is it good for the product as a whole? I don't think what they do is, right? But that's a different conversation altogether we've had many times. Shall we move on to the last one?
Yes, let's make this quick. I don't think it's possible to cover everything in 7 minutes, but we will try.
Okay. For this, like, I still won't watch it live because it's too late, lah. But I will probably watch it on Sunday morning, that kind of a deal. Try to avoid spoilers. But here we go. WWE Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. It's Saudi Mania once again. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Interest level.
I watched Raw a bit this morning. And they cut a killer promo, to be honest. But most of it is because of Becky Lynch calling out Trish Stratus for what she was, and what she had to go through during her era. So that was an interesting promo. So I got hyped after watching that. Yeah.
Would you agree with me when I say that Trish and her promos have been very flat?
Yes. Funnily enough, she did a contract signing this morning, right? It was her first contract signing of her career.
Oh, okay. It's an in-ring contract signing, lah.
Yeah, because in a weird way, right, she hasn't been highlighted at that level where she had a contract signing, even as a
Yeah.
women's champion back in the day.
But you have to remember back in the day too, she was popular for. I mean, she still is like known for. Her tag team was TNA. Let's put it that way, okay?
I
We've
agree.
moved on from then. I mean, she obviously, we've talked about this before. She improved leaps and bounds and broke the mold because the mold back then was really damn jalat, right?
Yeah. But again, she's not on the level of Becky Lynch in any way.
The industry, women's wrestling has improved drastically since her time, and it shows now. It like really, really shows. It's like watching a show from the 80s and watching a show from now. Like, yeah, like the acting is good, whatever, but then it just doesn't stand up.
Yeah, like I feel like this match is more for Trish as like a thank you match than it is to like highlight Becky, because Becky doesn't need this.
Yeah, and also it's Saudi, so Saudi loves their like attitude stars.
But then Trish Stratus need to like cover up, so wasted lah.
I mean, it'll still be form. Remember we talked about it last time, like they wear these form-fitting, cover everything, but it makes them look even more like, whoa, because it's super tight.
Oh yeah, because remember that time we saw Rhea Ripley, she was like, holy crap.
I was like, whoa, hey, I didn't think about you that way ever, but now like, whoa. Anyway, let's move on. Talking about Rhea Ripley. In the match nobody freaking called for, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya.
At least Zelina Vega, there was a storyline. It was Puerto Rico. It would have been an interesting reaction. So what? Natalya is like the hero of all these Saudi Arabians?
Okay, we all know that this is like, we need to find somebody for Rhea to beat up at Saudi. So
in the
just,
meantime.
We know Natalya is a dependable person. Let's just put her in there. Huh? Who else are they going to put in there?
I don't know. So many people, bro. They could have put so many other people.
Yeah, but whoever they actually have lined up for Rhea is probably down the road at other pay-per-view. Now it's just, okay, this side quest.
It's just... It's a side quest, bro.
Yeah, really random side quest. So don't want to talk about this too much. SmackDown Women's Championship. And also, they're handcuffed by the idea that this is Night of Champions, so every title needs to be defended. So
And again, they haven't figured out what is a Raw superstar Rhea Ripley doing with the SmackDown title. Are they going to fix that situation?
So hopefully soon. Bianca Belair, talking about Raw, Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Okay, they're running it back.
Yeah,
2 months late, but sure.
I mean, this one, I guess, has been heating up a bit. Okay, have they turned Asuka fully heel? I feel like she's sort of like...
She's already a heel. Yeah.
Okay,
I think they turned her heel this past week. Last week, I think.
Okay. With the mist and I remember the commentators were like, it's an experimental mist. Did you hear them say that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Because the mist is different, it's blue color one, no? So it's an experimental Asian mist that's cold and stings the eyes, and they try to explain it like, it's like different from the old mist. I'm like, okay, sure, okay.
But cool. Bianca selling it was pretty great though, so I gotta give her that. Yeah.
It is heating up, like, at least so we have something. Unfortunately, they are doing Asuka dirty again. She's just going to be there to lay down for Bianca, and it is what it is. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. This is
my guy.
Let's put the the Muslim guy in the match, because we are in a Muslim country.
I was just about to say that. You know what's funny? It should have been Mansoor in this spot, but he can't do it. You know why, right?
Because he fashion model now.
Yeah, because he maximum male model, which is like... it's very flamboyant for a Saudi country. So like they turn their national hero into this character. They need to go for the next best Muslim there lah.
Which is Mustafa Ali. And the funny thing is, Mustafa Ali, his whole thing is like he's this annoying face. I mean, not
positive guy.
Overly positive. Like he's an annoying heel. Like he's like a Bo Dallas type thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen Raw just now. It was damn funny, bro. Okay, so I just tell you very quickly. So he was backstage. He wanted to cut this super inspirational promo. Like, oh my god, all my life I always wanted to be a champion, but like it's obvious my career hasn't panned out that way. This is another chance for me to blah blah blah. And then as he was talking all this super inspirational shit, right? Legit, Brock Lesnar just walked past him and like bumped into him. Like just literally walked right in front of his interview space. And then like right before he go out on the ring, he turned around, he looked at him, he's like, dude, get a life. And he walked into the ring.
That's funny.
So like
That's funny.
literally he cut his promo in half and like shit on him before while he was trying to be all inspirational. Damn
Right.
funny, bro.
Well, I mean, it's Brock lah, so okay, I guess that makes sense. We all know that this is to have Mustafa Ali there to show up for the crowd, but Gunther's gonna destroy him.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Like Mustafa Ali's not freaking winning the IC title off of Gunther at Saudi Mania.
My question is, how many seconds is this match gonna run? That's my.
No, it's gonna be a chop fest. You're gonna chop him until his nipple flies into the seats. Actually, so far running down the card, it's kind of like a meh, it's very obvious who's gonna win card, don't you think?
It ain't Puerto Rico lah, but
Yeah. Well, you compare it to the previous Saudi card. This card seems like a step down.
But again, we are here for one match in particular. I mean, not really one. I think I would say 3 matches are catching my eye. We'll talk about it.
Okay, personally, I am only interested in 2 of the matches, but here we go. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the tag team champions, versus the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Okay, do we really believe that Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are going to win? No, right? They'll win the titles anyway.
Yeah. But my interest in this match is not because of who I think is going to win. It's clear. First, it's damn interesting that Sami is available to wrestle in Saudi. So I want to see how that pans out. How is his reaction? Because you're going to have a press conference again, right? But secondly, right, this storyline is about this potential dissolution of the Usos. And so how is the Usos going to play into this storyline at this match in particular?
Yes. Are they going to be on the Bloodline side or... I don't know, maybe this is where they excommunicate them. They try to help the Roman Reigns and Solo, but they screw up, which I think will be the finish. It's like the Usos try to help, but they screw up, and then they cost them the match.
Yeah, for sure. So I think at the end of the day, they are not going to win.
Nope.
But what is the fallout going to be? Like, Roman is clearly not going to take the pinfall, but how will he react to this loss?
Actually, you never know. What if Roman takes the pinfall? Because this is not to be honest, this is not like I don't think Roman will lose that much heat if he took the pinfall, because it's not a solo match and it's through a screw up or interference, right? So I feel like if Roman took the pinfall from Sami Zayn, because that is the feud, that's the one that everyone wants to see, right? The 2 of them hook up. Unfortunately, Kevin Owens is just along for the ride. But if Sami Zayn actually manages to pin Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns would have all the motivation to basically kill his cousins.
So does Sami get the moral victory?
Yes, so Sami gets the moral victory, pops the crowd huge. Finally, Sami Zayn pins Roman Reigns, but in a match that doesn't really, quote-unquote, matter in terms of the main championship lah.
Okay, Ken. Interesting. Sami getting the victory, pinning Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia would be crazy. It would be amazing, right?
It would be a way to have a moment. Like, let's say Sami pins Solo or Kevin pins Solo. It's like, meh. You know what I mean? It's like okay lor, moral victory, but it's not like a moment. I think that if they really want to make a moment, it's Sami over Roman.
Yeah. Zayden said maybe DQ. Can they play a DQ?
DQ would be like, it wouldn't create any moment.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this particular match. Again, it's one of my anticipated matches because I think Roman Reigns, no matter what, he's a star. Yeah, he's star power, and I think people will be interested in whatever he does.
Cody versus Brock is the only non. Okay, she's not the only. It's the second non-championship match in this card.
Again, I need to update you about what happened on Raw today.
Okay, tell me.
So Cody Rhodes is coming into this match injured with I would assume this is a broken arm situation, bro.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like legit injury or fake one?
No. I think storyline. Okay, so what happened was at the start of Raw, he was walking into the arena, then he kena sneak attack by Brock.
Of course.
So Brock beat the shit out of him backstage. And then they recreated what Brock did to Undertaker back in 2002. Do you remember this scenario?
Not really.
When Brock Lesnar attacked him backstage, and then he used like a cinder block or like some sort of like heavy item, and then they smash it into his hand. So they did the same thing. So Brock took like an empty cake, those like beer cake, huge ass container, and then smack it on Cody Rhodes' arm. And then 1 hour into the show, I think when I told you he walked past Mustafa Ali and said, "Get alive," right?
Yeah.
Then he walked to the ring and then he's like announced everyone, okay, I'm sorry guys, the match this weekend is cancelled because Cody Rhodes clearly can't make it for the match. And then again, Cody Rhodes walked in with his freaking like sling, his hands all ice, and he still wanted to pick a fight, right? So he went to the ring, and then he basically got mauled by Brock, and then Brock did the Kimura on him.
Oh.
Yeah. So he kena the so-called hand snap, right? And then like the funny thing is, right, I think later on in the show, they were showing him backstage in his locker room, and he's not letting any of the medical professionals go into the room, right?
Yeah.
And Adam Pearce was so like stressed out. He did a phone call. He said like, hey, he's not getting medical attention. I need you here. And you know what happened?
What?
Triple H showed up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Triple H walked into so we had officially the first like face-to-face Triple H and Cody Rhodes moment in WWE, right?
Right.
In storyline. And he was like trying to convince like Cody Rhodes, hey, don't take the match, we are clearly know that you're injured, blah, blah, blah. And so that now they're playing this whole angle that Cody is gonna make it to the ring no matter what, no matter how injured he is. So I'm wondering, are they gonna do a squash match?
Oh, because of the injured arm. I mean, yeah, if anything, this gives them a reason to have Brock just absolutely annihilate Cody. Because when Cody won, it was sort of like a hing, right? You know, the turnbuckle and everything, Brock Lesnar bleeding, and so like, okay, you gave Cody the win, but he had a little bit of help. So this time around, like Brock Lesnar had to resort to these sort of like, a sneak attack, and now he's injured and he beats him down. Yeah, it definitely calls for a third match. So, I mean, we knew that they would have to trade lah. They would have to do a third match. And it makes sense that now you want to let Brock win, but give Cody a reason to ask for a third match.
Yeah. So I think, this might be a squash, and they will have that third match, and this explains away Cody taking another loss because he was injured beforehand, right?
Correct. Yeah, it lets him get away with the loss without diminishing his character, and in a sense build his sympathy with the crowd. Like, oh, look at this guy, he got fighting spirit, he got broken arm, still want to come out and fight, that kind of thing. It's like the Thorn Pack situation. He takes off his shirt, freaking red tete all, and it's like, makes it a little bit more like whoa, right? So that is one of the matches I really, really want to watch. And then there's Seth freaking Rollins versus AJ Styles, the tournament final for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, this is going to be a hot take, but I kind of don't care.
Because you know who's going to win, right?
It's not that I know who's going to win. It's AJ Styles, unfortunately, I think he's a phenomenal talent, but he's been presented recently in this he's just there lah. He's a veteran. You just have to rely on his veteran status. And Seth has sort of been a joker character here and there. So
if this was 2016, 2017, where AJ Styles was like the face that runs the place, Seth Rollins was like Kingslayer, it would have been a much hotter match. I understand.
Yeah, but now it's sort of I guess you have to give it to them to hold before you give it to Cody. It feels like that to me.
Yeah, I also feel like they realized that, they acknowledge that there's no heat between both wrestlers anyway. So they went about it a different way in promoting the match. Have you been seeing the backstage interviews between Corey Graves and Seth Rollins?
No, I haven't.
So you can check it out on YouTube. The last 2 weeks, this last week and this week, they did like a few parts, like I think it's a 3-part promo. So like last week, it's basically like a sit down where they really deep dive into his motivations for winning the title, where he's been in his life, blah blah blah. It's a bit like, do you remember that Mankind had a sit down with JR, and they like peel back his character a bit?
Yeah.
So he was less joker. He was more like, he talked about his history in NXT. He talked about how he acknowledged how he was supposed to be the guy, but then all the shit with Bray Wyatt happened. Then he had to pivot and become a joker. He was supposed to be the top guy, but the crowd rejected. He talked about it. He was very honest. So I think it was like kind of like a work shoot.
Right.
And of course, Corey is a long-time friend, right?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting because they talk about how he wanted to carry the company. He was always a company man. And I think this third one, he even acknowledged Roman Reigns holding the title hostage. Yeah. So he said like, he talked about the history in the Shield. So he said something like, I love this guy. I love Roman Reigns. We will forever be brothers. But I don't like him. I don't like how he's holding the title hostage. And he talked about how this title is not going to be a secondary constellation title. I'm gonna make this the workers title. So
Sure.
I think he sold this match for me
Yeah.
based on those promos. I think if you watch it, you kind of understand where I'm coming from.
But then what about from AJ Styles' point of view?
Yeah, so the funny thing is they haven't done any promos for AJ Styles. I don't know. Are they just telegraphing the match? Like, why they are not highlighting AJ Styles the same way? They should have sit down interviews with AJ Styles from the SmackDown side. It would have made so much sense, right?
Yeah, so it really feels like Seth is just going to win this lah. So I don't know why they've done such a kind of lackluster job in promoting this World Heavyweight Championship. Like, of all the things, right? Like, and the problem is, not freaking giving AJ Styles the same treatment as Seth Rollins. And in a worked environment, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I want to draw a parallel to MMA. I don't even remember when was it Ronda Rousey versus Betch Correia? Or no, not Betch Correia. The other one, the lady.
Is
who
it
beat the
Holly
Brazilian.
Ho?
No, the
no.
Brazilian.
I don't follow enough to know actually who's this.
Damn it! I forgot her name all of a sudden. Like leading up to their match, right? All the promo, everything was on Ronda, and then Ronda lost. And then it was like they lost such a huge opportunity to launch a big name, a second, because that's the nature of the game. You never know who can win. It's not a work, it's a shoot, right? Damn it. Amanda Nunes, there you go.
Bro, crazy thought though. What if WWE builds all this shit on Seth Rollins only for him to lose at the AJ Styles win? Would that be interesting?
It would be, but I think it would be counterintuitive in that, okay. I think it would do AJ a disservice. People need to be reminded of how great he is, his accomplishments, that kind of stuff. I'm sure they'll do a video package and everything, which will look cool, but...
You know that, I don't know whether you watched, but last week on SmackDown, Grayson Waller debuted on SmackDown, and I think they reignited their feud. So they really kind of telegraphed that maybe AJ Styles is not going to win and he's going to stay on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Feud with this young guy.
Yeah, because, I guess they are assuming that most people didn't watch NXT, right? So they're like, okay, since they already worked together, let's do the program again, which makes sense. But it doesn't make sense because AJ is going for the world champion, unless you have Grayson Waller interfere in the main event. Do you think that's kind of cheap?
Too early for Grayson to be on that spot. If it's somebody like Theory, I think it makes sense.
Speaking of which, Theory not involved here?
Yeah, no, Theory has apparently started a feud with Sheamus over the US title, also on SmackDown. Yeah. Okay, last hot take, I think, seeing the whole bill, right, for Night of Champions and comparing it with Puerto Rico, like, we know that for me, I didn't go into Backlash with any much hype at all. Yeah. But when Backlash came, it was amazing.
Yes.
So do you think it's the same thing for Night of Champions?
But here's the thing, right? Just looking at the card, do you honestly think that any of these titles are going to change hands?
No, but doesn't matter. It's more of like the appeal of the match.
Right, I guess. Okay, so appeal-wise, like your first 1, 2, 3, 4 matches already are like sort of a wash. You know exactly who's going to win. Becky, Rhea, Bianca, Gunther. There's literally nothing that could shock us in those matches.
Unless suddenly the crowd turns super hype and like cheers the shit out of everyone, and like maybe one time Mustafa Ali gets a upset DQ victory or something. I don't know.
But even a DQ victory means nothing, right?
Yeah, perhaps.
So, my hype level for this is like literally a 6. My hype level for the AEW Double or Nothing is a 5. So it's equally low.
Funnily enough, I agree with you. I feel like my hype is not as high, but Night of Champions is still what I'm looking forward to more than AEW. So.
Oh, right, yeah, same. Chat, let us know what your hype level is, and then next week we'll come back and we'll talk about what we actually saw and what we thought about it. Okay, it's like past 2 o'clock already. I know you got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Yeah. So, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a mega size episode. It's a mega size week of pro wrestling. Remember, tomorrow we have another special episode with Andrew Tang, the statement of SPW. He's here to preview this Friday's Merciless event that's happening. I don't know if tickets are still available. Please go and check. By the way, we are giving away tickets as well on our Discord. So if you haven't already, join us on Discord to get more information about it. It's linked all in the description. Okay. Any last parting words?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on about the free tickets. So, again, fastest fingers first. I think whoever on Discord who's interested, go DM us. And for those who still haven't had tickets yet, tomorrow I'll still be around on the chat while the show is happening. Let us know whether you're keen. Remember, 2 pairs of tickets are available. Means 4 tickets. 4 tickets are available. So if you're interested to checking out this Friday, we'll definitely talk about it tomorrow, and we'll probably do our best to make it on Friday. So no birds for me. So I will definitely be there, Mr. Young. Just to be
Absolutely.
clear.
I'll try to make my way down there as well. Okay, everybody, back to reality. Remove ourselves from the wrestling world. It's back to reality, unfortunately, but I'm so glad that we got to share this moment here. Bro, have yourself a great week ahead. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building, guys. Take care.
Let me see you try.